or whatever you call it.
Go to.
We're live.
We're live? Oh shit!
The television
Yeah.
that's in there.
Somebody else has got to get this shit started, though.
Holy
My
shit!
mic is
So
awful.
loud, Jesus.
Who is it?
Oh,
Oh, I thought it was in Telegram. It's not in Telegram. Where is it?
Wait, are we live? Live? Should we not say anything bad?
we are live.
Okay. where the fuck are the questions? Holy shit!
Well, hello everyone.
We
Welcome to Nice
As-
Skill. This is our question and answer thing. When the DM's too lazy to actually prepare anything, we get viewer questions and then answer them. It's kind of simple, honestly.
as I've just discovered that we're live, I do want to, and I think I speak for all of us, extend an apology for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's-
yeah.
We're just now live. It's okay.
I know that's I'm doing
it's still important.
it's a bit-
Oh, okay. You're
That we, like,
apologizing to the
sort
people
of-
that did. Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
I simply apologize.
I'm often apologizing.
Okay, well,
Sorry.
let me apologize for what's about to happen.
There we go.
The pre-apology.
Anyway, hello. We don't have a regular scheduled game today because a bunch of us are on vacation, but a few of us figured we'd hop on and answer some questions and maybe doodle. I don't know how long I'm going to be here because I'm one of the people on vacation, but I am here for now.
nerd.
Where are you?
Loser.
I'm
Hell.
in Arizona, hanging
Hell.
with Jaeger. I'm in hell. I'm in hell.
You
Getting an
you got
ass.
your few of us and a bunch of us mixed up. A few of you are on vacation, and there are more of us here to answer questions.
Yeah, that's true. That's completely true. I counted Luis in that calculation, but I forgot he's not in this call right now.
You should be.
Nope. Nobody knows
You
what that is.
That's fair.
You have to use the character name.
Mikhail Geary from another campaign that nobody knows about.
Yeah, nobody knows those names.
Yeah, no, I'm so sorry.
What's the point of the last
Yeah.
two if you can't even move it? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you have to like lasso and then switch to the hand tool. It's really annoying.
The hand tool.
Or not the
And
hand
by
tool,
the-
but the like drag tool.
By the way, Luis, when you watch this back later, I am sorry. I didn't mean it was a joke.
Whoa.
It's okay. I'm keeping them in my dungeon right now, and they'll have lots of time to discuss afterwards.
Mhm, mhm.
You're in Arizona. You don't have
It's
dungeons.
fine.
there.
We've already
It's an above ground Adobe dungeon.
Yeah,
God.
it's an above ground
Already
dungeon that
pre-apologized.
remarkably resembles a comfortable house with air conditioning and a couch and a cat.
There's just a bunch of cacti all around, so you can never like walk away.
True. Anyway, I should go pull up the questions.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I'm not responsible for any of this, but I should still pull them up. So I can
Yeah, that's
post
what
the
we're
link.
doing.
Straight up, not responsible for it.
I'm gonna put a bet out there. There's no questions about what's his face. Big Lion. Big Lion.
Big
Well,
line.
there is the question about who's the most fuckable NPC, and that counts, I
Oh,
think.
Big lion.
Okay, never mind. That counts. Okay, then I'll limit it down to if there's no questions about Ruko, you guys owe
Really
me 10
incredible.
metaphorical Monopoly monies.
Hey.
Really incredible that you don't know him by name.
Yeah, honestly, it is probably Darwin.
I will ask exclusively questions about Ruko.
Oh my
No.
god, we got a ton of questions in the past like 20 minutes. How did this happen?
There's lots more. Okay,
They're all from me.
They're not. They're not all from you. In fact, there's only one from you, and it is labeled not Biscuit.
That's the one that's not
Well,
from
it's
me. I'm
clearly
the other
not
one.
from him. He just
You're the other one.
No,
Okay.
that's from like literally everyone else except for Biscuit. What are you?
We all got together without Biscuit and made a question.
Well, not all of you. Just like everyone on the planet.
Wait, you guys keep doing this thing where you put a bigger selection and then say that we're in the smaller selection. It doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
We're on the planet, so he would.
Right.
Yeah.
As a reminder, Twitch can see Magma. I think that what we have here is appropriate and lovely, and we're going to keep it that way.
Oh yeah.
Don't you can draw dicks, but they can't be too good. That's the rule.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a bone, first of all.
Right. That's like a little kitty cat face in a keyhole or something.
I was going for a dog bone.
Was that?
I mean, whoever drew
Wonderful.
that was probably going for a dog bone.
Who's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be
take
our
your time.
our question reader?
Can I say before we start
do it?
to all of you and all of the audience as well? I just watched 3,000 Years of Longing. It is so good. Tilda Swinton is amazing in it. It's got a genie. It's fantastic. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen. It's written, directed, and produced by the guy that directed Happy Feet.
Happy Feet.
But it's quite
good. Happy Feet, but more
Are
notably,
you
Mad Max
implying that
Fury
Happy
Road.
Feet is not good?
good. Happy Feet's good.
The man who is famous for saying, if I'm ever forced to make Happy Feet 2, Happy Feet 3, I will shoot myself. Before that.
Honestly, one of the best movies I've ever seen. 3,000 Years, one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Happy Feet?
Check it out.
Happy Feet's pretty good.
I saw
the first
Happy
question,
Feet and
what's
was
your-
deeply disappointed.
What's your favorite scene in Happy Feet?
I like the one with the feet.
I've never seen Happy Feet.
I haven't either.
I've never seen it.
Is it Penguin and a
I've
Pebble?
also
but
never seen
different?
Happy Feet.
I saw the clips you posted, but
I remember
Happy Feet
Pebble Olympic.
might be one of the first movies I ever saw.
Cedric, how did you know that? How did you know the director?
because the quote is hilarious, and the fact that he's directed Happy Feet and Mad Max Fury Road is also funny. And I've also seen 3,000 Years of Longing. It's
What'd you
pretty
think?
good.
It was
I like
good,
it.
right? Yeah,
I
I
like
loved
it.
it.
I didn't like it as much as Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh,
Honestly, I don't love movies. I do not love movies. Well, I love, movies are bad these days, but that one was good.
Hey
Sorry,
everyone, what was your favorite role play? What's your favorite role play moment from another Wild Folk player?
Wow, you just cracked that right out. That was a really good segue.
I think it was
I guess
the
I'll go fuck myself. Okay.
yeah. I think it was the time when
sorry for immediately shitting on you for trying to keep this thing going.
we're thinking.
it was the time when Branch did that awesome segue into a
Well,
real question. Who wants to take this one?
It's
for
for
everybody.
everyone. It's
Surely
for
this is a round table, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a round table. What's
We
your
need a
favorite?
director.
I'll be the George Miller. Don't worry, I'll be George Miller. I'm making
It's-
Happy Feet right now.
Right, you're the
For
director.
me,
Just point. Oh, go ahead.
it's everything Zeke does where Jane decides to be a worse person.
Oh yeah.
Where
Listen,
every
just-
time she has an introspection and devolves and gets deeper down the rabbit hole of the chronomancy, those are my favorite moments because I'm like, oh my god, I see it, I understand, but also
Listen.
holy shit, someone has to do something.
I'm just going to come out with this right on top so we can just
I
clear the
think
air. Jane's
they're a lot to
never
pick
done
from, but I
anything
think it
wrong
might
ever.
be when Foster finally got mad at Tex, and that was kind of the first time we saw Foster
my
as
God.
anything other than universally pleasant.
Yes, holy fuck, yes. I'm sorry, Zeke, what was you saying?
I was just saying that up top I need to clarify that Jane has never done anything wrong and is a perfect
And naturally,
perfect moral paragon.
In all timelines.
I think Feck might have me muted from our
I-
D&D
I-
game in Spirit and Salt.
I definitely still have you muted from Spirit and Salt.
We haven't been able to hear him the whole time.
Yeah, whatever cool things you've been saying, I've been talking over you the entire time.
yeah, I was wondering.
No, I haven't said much. Thank you, Frisk, though. That was a very kind compliment. Jane's fun. Jane's
It is fun.
Jane's something. Jane has before the campaign started, had a vision of Jane's arc being exactly opposite of what it's been, which is the fun of D&D is being surprised. But when I started Jane, I was like, she's going to start out as this sweet, cinnamon bun of a character that, as the plot progresses, people are going to discover that, she's got some I don't know, some evil to her, or at least some moral grayness to her. And instead, session 1, she's not actually human. Session 4, she kills a man in a cave. so her arc has started where I thought it was going to end and is going the other. I'm trying to progress her towards being she's came off as a monster to start with, but she's she's got some cinnamon bun in her too. It's been fun to go the opposite direction with Jane that I thought she was going to go.
Yeah, but for real though, can you have morals if you are a non-human mechanical entity?
if you have a soul in you, which I think Jane does, but I don't actually know.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Who knows? I told Feck, like, when I made Jane's character, I was like, she was unconscious and woke up a robot. And here's what I think happened. Then here's what Booker thinks happened. But I don't know what actually happened. It's in God's hands now.
I'm
God's
God in
force
this
meaning Feck.
in this analogy. Yeah.
In terms of individual character moment things, I like the that sketch is getting more and more sassy as time goes on.
True.
It's very
sure.
funny. And I like. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I like. I also really like the pretty much every character scene, every major character scene involving Jane. It's really good. You've done a lot of good jobs with all. Even good job with all of them.
Dang, guys.
Yeah.
My favorite, and I shouldn't say it's not close, but it's one that immediately came to mind when I saw this question, was the like flashback from Foster when he was talking with his lady love, whose name I'm forgetting right now for some reason. Thank you, Thalia. About like love being a river, and I wrote down the quote at a time and like shared it later because it blew my mind so much. But that whole scene, like talking with the other guy about his like love with Thalia, and then also their conversation about like the plant reaching for sunlight. I just Elijah is the very greatest. He's so good, and I love Foster so much.
Eli is full of bangers, banger lines.
Eli he's unquestionably the best player we have in our group.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Like with Spirit and Salt, with Cadence, he's said like 10 things, and they've all been like Cadence is so characterized already without having like said that much. That's the Eli touch.
Yeah, my favorite roleplay moment from Eli was Cadence is not based on any cat.
Yes,
pretty good.
FYI, yes, so good. I love it.
The question has turned into what's your favorite roleplay moment from Eli?
Right. Everyone tell your favorite Eli moment. Well, he's like not even here to receive his flowers.
We'll just send him the quotes.
12 flowers in his absence as tribute.
You were gonna do that anyway. Don't lie.
Well, yes, but now it has meaning. Now I'm not just weird. I'm appreciating a friend.
There's nothing weird about eating flowers, Jaeger. You can eat the flowers.
It's a little weird. Don't let him have that.
It's super.
Okay, it's a little weird.
Flower. Really depends on the flower.
Yeah, don't eat like just a random orchid, right? But are there? Do you have just?
There is not a flower in his garden he has not eaten.
Oh, okay.
They're
So
edible. They're meant to be eaten.
okay.
See, he's weird about it.
Okay, honey.
I never knew you were like a bee.
You still
Bees
eat
eat
them,
flowers, right?
Oh my god! Did everyone get a chance to answer that question to their satisfaction? Because okay, yeah, go.
Mine is, I don't know how Frisk keeps characters so separate and he like switches gears with Ethan so easily.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh hell yes.
It's nothing specific, but like I just appreciate how well he can keep characters separate and act completely different at a drop of a hat. It's great.
Dude, this motherfucker is already playing like 8 characters a week, but then like half of those characters have split personalities or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like he's playing 12 characters a week. It's wild.
I need more.
I feel like too, it would be like it'd be easy to do that in like an obnoxious or disingenuous way, but it's always like believable. It's always like subtle and like nuanced and so good. So good.
Big fan of the original Ethan reveal, and also most of it. I think favorite recent moment from him is probably the forcing the fucking hotel to take form of his mother moment. That was a good touching moment. But yeah.
Hey. Thank you. I was feeling a type of way.
Sometimes you just want Siri to. Sometimes you want Siri to give you a hug. That's what like Blade Runner 2047 was about, or whatever.
Sometimes I want Siri to give me a hug in a specific form that I can't ask, and it turns out it's not real.
Don't love. Oh, I would love a forbidden treat.
Forbidden treat.
Forbidden tree?
Am I queued up right now?
You are
were.
queued up.
Yeah, you
Yes.
Weird. I think it's a strawberry.
Oh,
Oh, sure.
that wasn't
sure.
that
He's
wasn't
doing
Ben?
weird shit with strawberries over by the fridge.
Hmm.
It's not weird this time.
It's not a sex thing.
Yeah, it's not.
Which
I was wondering if that was meant for us.
It was. I was asking all of you guys, or I was letting you all know that I'd like a forbidden treat.
Okay.
Okay.
would you like a spirit insult question, Zeke? Would that be really good for you?
No, I need to ask this other question instead, and then we can do that.
Okay.
If you were to turn into an animal, like Tex was turned into a cat, what animal would your character be?
You're asking a bunch of furries.
I know.
Yeah,
and
this
I want
is
to know
so
the
easy.
answers.
What do we?
Character?
It can't be your species, right?
Well, yeah, no, like Sketch and Test can't just turn into the kind of cat that they're
Right.
Yeah.
has.
Well, you don't even know what
Yeah.
kind of cat we are.
Of course, I don't know
Um,
what kind of cat you are. You're all the same to me.
It's the XKCD about geologists trying to estimate what average people know about geology.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know what a cheetah is.
Like the
Well, of
like
course,
like
but-
Cheetos, like the Chester Cheeto.
There's also a really good quote that I'm not going to remember all of. That's about like a biologist who's studied, I don't know, certain like octopuses their whole life, and by the end of their career, they're like, the thing that I've learned about octopuses is that they don't exist. Like categorizing things, the harder you dig into categorizing it, becomes like, wait,
True.
nothing about our categories makes sense or works.
Amen. Words are all made up.
What I'm
for
saying
next-
is all cats are the same, and I'm not going to be sorry for saying that all cats are the same.
That's true, actually. You've stumbled on a very important truth.
Oh, cats are
The-
same.
The correct plural for octopus is octupi.
No. No. It's octopodes. Everybody knows this biscuit.
Octochodes.
I asked this question so I don't have to think of what Jane would be, because I actually need to think about it. I don't know.
Wait, the one person here who is not already a furry.
The funny thing is that I think
First of
Jane
all-
might be a cat.
No, she wouldn't. Jane, horse girl. She would be a pony.
True.
Oh, she might be.
She
You're
would.
probably right.
Well, wait. Okay, I need to ask about this question a bit more. Is it what they want to be or what they would be?
I think it's what they would be.
It says, what would they be?
Okay, what
I think
would
it's
they
not.
be?
They don't get to pick. It's like what.
They don't
What
get
does?
to pick. Okay.
Let's assume that like their character informs the kind of animal they become.
What are you cursed to become?
Yeah. What do you
Okay.
choose to become?
But like based on your personality. It's like a
Okay.
Disney filter.
Yeah, Branch is a rat.
Branch,
Green might be. I actually really like that answer. That's a good answer.
rats are too social. Rats are too dependent on each other. It's got to be something that's like a fucking scavenger that hates seeing other versions of itself.
It's a possum.
Yeah, like a fucking possum or a coyote or something like that.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of animals that have strong like maternal instinct, because that's what Jane is.
Bears.
I
Bears,
keep going
yeah.
to some sort of a bird.
I do think
Bear
keep thinking
bird.
bird, but I don't think there's
Okay.
any birds that care about their children. Maybe a penguin.
I like bear.
Bear. I feel like Jay could be a good
She's
bear.
a mama bear.
I'm not getting
Smaller
bear
bear.
vibes at all. The only bear vibe is that they are maternal. And there's a lot of other maternal critters that are better fits than bears. Come on.
She's definitely not a quokka, which throws the child out of danger to get away.
A brief Google tells me that wolf spiders are maternal, and I hate spiders.
That
But-
sounds like Jane, though.
Yeah, Jane
Yeah,
fits
I know
she's a
Jane's
little, she's a
spider,
little
like-
sinister like a spider and a little scary like a spider.
Spiders can be cute.
No,
Probably not the
maybe
wolf spider.
maybe like jumping spiders, but
Yeah,
no,
jumping
no
spiders.
other ones.
Probably
What about a
not the wolf
peacock?
spider.
What about a peacock spider?
Oh, those are a kind of jumping spider, right?
I'm not going to look it up because it will give me nightmares.
Honestly, insect vibes fit Jane. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like maybe like a
Yeah.
spider or a praying mantis or something.
Praying mantis.
Like it's like a
Oh,
grasshopper.
Your husband's alive though.
Oh,
Yeah, so praying mantis is
Jane.
the wrong choice. She doesn't kill
Jane.
her husbands.
Jane, apparently, elephants are very protective of their children and they never forget.
Oh, that's pretty
Oh
good.
yeah, elephant.
I think she would be a worm.
And
So
Booker
what's your
did not
personal
love her.
feelings about her inform this decision?
Are we just playing into the if you were a worm, or if I was a worm, would you still love me thing?
That and her husband runs an apple orchard.
That's also
That's true. See,
Well,
I keep
them
thinking
apples.
like honeybee or something, but they are also not very. They're very
Ooh,
social, but
honeybee.
not maternal.
What's the opposite maternal for honeybees? I think
Right, right.
Aren't they maternal? They kind of are.
they make
spend,
a
like,
lot of drones, and they don't care if they die.
Yeah,
Well, they're
just
not
This
maternal.
looks incredible.
Yeah,
Holy
they're
shit,
not
you made a
maternal to the
flower!
drones.
Foster's probably a butterfly.
Wait, you can compliment mine too.
I think he's talking to somebody over there.
Yeah, he's just,
How does
he's
this keep
excited
queuing
for the
up?
flower.
What's
Yeah,
going
we're
on?
hearing, We're hearing it all.
I think you're open miking on that one.
Am I open micing? Hang on.
You
I'm so
are,
sorry.
yeah.
If this is me, I'm going to like delete myself.
Straight up delete yourself, bro.
Let me copy paste you first
So-
into another document.
As it turns out, we are auditioning a new DM.
Not it.
I don't operate well enough under pressure. Sorry.
I guess Jaeger can do it.
Yeah.
Let Jaeger do it.
Jaeger.
If you don't say anything in the next 3 seconds, Jaeger, it's you.
Fuck, he did.
Voice nerd.
I think they're getting you through me.
We're really bad at it.
Sorry. Hello.
Hello.
You talking shit?
Hello.
Do you
Yes.
want to die? No.
I don't know if that's relevant.
What happened?
We were
What
joking
kind of-
about
what
needing
kind
a
of-
new DM.
What kind of animal would Ruko be if he was an animal? And you can't just say the kind of cat he is. What kind of animal would he be cursed to be if he was cursed to become an animal?
First of all,
Funny
he's
you,
not a cat.
you insensitive fuck. I'm not a cat.
Whatever. Feline something. Oh,
He's
you're not
not
even
even a
actually like an otter or
feline.
something, huh? Fucking stoat or whatever he is.
God damn it.
I straight up don't know. I'm sorry.
Can you just spend 2 minutes on E621 and get caught up?
Please,
Please
I
never
listen.
get to that website. I
No.
beseech you to never visit that website.
Ruko is a Fasa. He's a native of Madagascar. Looks kind of like a cat, kind of like a dog. It's like the best of both worlds, I guess. I don't know,
Is
man.
that what he turns into?
But if I were to choose another animal, then it would be a marten or a sable because
That's
they're not
no-
real. You
No,
ever seen
you
them?
can't do that. They're too close.
You
Come
also
on.
don't get to
They're the
choose.
same
them.
thing.
What is
They're
the
just
thing that he
little
would be cursed
guys.
to become? If
Ruko
he didn't have
would
any
be,
say in the matter.
Yeah, Ruko would be a beaver.
I can't believe we're
They're a
listening
little
Wink
bit
here, but I was
social. They're a
also
little bit
about to say beagle.
shy. They build a little den to curl themselves up in.
I've never agreed more in my life. I was about to say beagle.
Not a beagle,
Go.
a beaver.
Oh,
Why the hell were you gonna say?
I was thinking beagle.
I say fetch would be some kind of really aggressive, like dog, like a German Shepherd or like a Doberman Pinscher or something.
Yeah.
You mean a Chihuahua, right? Because those are.
Well, yeah, but it has to be one that's actually scary because fetch is scary.
Branch is a chihuahua there.
Branch is a
No.
chihuahua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's a Wolverine or a honey badger.
Yeah, I could see either one of those.
I'm looking up animals with anxiety, and like bunnies and possums.
Yeah,
Very,
rabbits,
very-
guinea pigs,
Yeah.
cheetahs.
Let's say I'm having a hard time because like cheetahs already have the anxiety and
But it's not sassy enough.
Mhm. What's a sassy animal?
Cat.
Snow
All,
leopards?
all
Yeah.
cats.
All snow cats.
Oh,
Peacocks.
Athena's
Peacocks,
raven.
yeah.
Oh.
He likes
Yeah, I
to
can
solve
see that.
problems using tools. He's dramatic.
Orangutan,
Smart.
very sassy, legendarily sad.
And ravens and crows can mimic and speak. And so like they can act, which is something Ether really likes.
Yeah, I can see Atom being a crow or a
He
raven.
would pick one too.
I can see Athen running an aviary.
Oh,
Oh
What
my
if-
god, yeah.
what if Jane's a penguin?
I could see that. It's a bird that's maternal.
But
I think
don't the
elephant-
dads take care of the baby more?
I don't know.
Or like 50-50?
Well,
gotta get
obviously you haven't
50-50
seen
the
Happy
egg,
Feet.
Yeah, someone turn on Happy Feet real quick, and we'll.
We'll figure it out. George Miller's masterpiece, Happy Feet.
I'm gonna go with Flea so that I can become one with Darwin.
Aw, you're
Wow.
parasitic.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You already
Hmm.
have a waifu.
Are we all in Butterfly for Foster?
You can see Butterfly for Foster.
Yeah,
I
there's
can
like
see
the
Butterfly for Foster.
metamorphosis going on, and yeah.
Mhm.
Butterfly or
No.
like honeybee.
No, hear me out. What about Three-Toed Sloth, the one that has moss growing on his back?
But that's only because they're lazy. He has to actually
Foster's
be
not-
doing stuff.
You need to cultivate the actual. He needs to cultivate the fucking garden.
You can also see hermit crab. You know, the ones that decorate their shells
Yeah.
with
That's
you know,
cute. If you make him mad, he'll pinch you.
pinch you.
What's Tex?
His is already.
Oh, Tex is a cat.
The question is if you're cursed like Tex.
Like
so-
Tex.
Oh, he'd
Okay,
still
never
be.
mind.
He is cursed, and
He
he
is cursed.
became a cat.
Was that because it was that? But was that because there was no other animal around, or or did they
No, I
really
think-
think this through?
I think it's because Weiss had a black cat and he has no creativity. It was just like, sure,
This is
this'll
here.
do.
Yeah,
I
he's
like
sitting
my
in that-
cat.
He's sitting in that fucking house, thinking, "Man, this isn't thematically. That really wasn't thematically appropriate."
He was just like, I miss my cat.
I miss my kid.
Yeah, I feel like a
Oh, I
proper,
know.
a
My
proper curse
boyfriend's
animal
getting a
for
cat.
Tex is like a snake or a spider or something like a
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know.
Serpent,
A
yeah.
scorpion.
Something
What's a
immensely deadly and awful.
Yeah, you know.
I love
Yeah.
scorpions. They're also motherly. They carry all their kids in their back.
Hmm.
Gross.
What's
we did it,
sketch?
guys.
Yeah, I
Answer
hate
the
kids
question.
too.
I think Sketch is one of those little munchkin cats with the short legs.
You can't be a cat.
No cats.
I don't know other animals, guys. I only know cats.
Yes,
Sketch
we're
would be a
forcing
quokka.
you to spread out. Yeah, quokka.
A what?
A quokka.
Quokka.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Okay, the quokka is the one that's always smiling, and they're the ones who are anxious and they throw their children at people.
You get a picture of it.
Quokka looks like you misspelled koala. Oh, it's so with the Q. Okay.
You
So
could be a
sketch
co-
gives me some kind of like bird energy.
Yeah. Also, Ruko's probably a Coati. Not
Okay.
the like weird long nose thing in South
those, yeah.
America. Yeah.
Jane,
yeah.
Jane's a morning dove.
Mm,
Mm.
No.
that's correct. It's the correct answer.
Found it.
What?
Sketch is a Finnick.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
that might be right.
I think so.
The DM decrees it, so it's true now.
No. Don't let me have that power.
Do we have any questions specifically for him, by the way, before he dies?
Over feck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I'm the DM, right? You guys elected me just now.
Yeah,
I
you're the
think
new
I should,
DM after Feck
find my
goes.
question.
So
Yeah.
You may speak for Feck.
Fact, what's the best thing about the other players in the campaign? Play style, role play aspects, etc. Shapely
Okay.
buttocks.
Well, I'm not going to answer those. I think I've done this one before, but I'll happily do it again because it's a lot of fun. Let me pull up a list so I get everybody.
I think that actually Tex would be a fox.
I could see that.
Oh, that's so yeah. They're like sly.
Yeah. Sly, tricky, still like predatory death machines.
But very cute. And still predatory death machine.
True.
I
Um,
think.
what you got?
I think Fetch would be a rat.
I could see it. Very social. Very brave.
Very social, very den oriented, and then
Very
most of the time they're just running around chilling out. But if there's a threat, boom, they pounce. They're really aggressive.
Yeah.
But it's an aggressive defense. They're not really trying to attack.
I always interpret rats as smart, though, even though they're not really.
Smarter than a cat.
I don't know if that's true, but I believe you.
You can train a rat.
You can train a cat.
I mean,
If you start early with a cat, you can train them to do things.
All right. With
You just can't let them
extreme
get
effort,
lazy.
with extreme effort, you can train some cats. I'll put it that way.
right.
You can
If you win
train
the genetic
every
lottery.
rat easily. They're so easy to train, you can accidentally train them to do things you don't want.
You can also do that with cats.
And most domestic animals.
Also, they're cool.
Here we go. Drake, more than anyone else here, understands that there is no script, and I appreciate that tremendously. He has. How do I put this in a way that comes across as positive? Because it truly is for me. He
Good start.
Yeah. No, I mean this as affectionately as possible. He is the most willing to just completely ignore the obvious and expected outcome. The given. He's willing to ignore the given and instead push the story in a weird direction, and I like that. Jaeger, I think more than anyone else here, has brought more world building. I think he brought the most world building to the campaign, which is impressive because a lot of people brought world building to the campaign, but he has brought more in like the Spirit Weavers lore than I think anyone else really brought as part of like their character story.
I'm right here.
What?
I'm right here. That's my thing, is making up stuff that the DM didn't know about.
You're absolutely correct. And for the record, you and Neo working together are like a close second here. And it was actually very convenient since the two of you were like very adjacent. A lot of what the three of you put together was like a conglomeration of what each of you were proposing individually.
Everything I suggested was turned down by Feck.
That's simply not true. you got away with basically everything that you asked for.
Look, here's the
that's
trick:
fair.
you don't ask, never ask. Just announce that it's true in game. And let it happen.
I
That's how I do it.
I like to have it prepared by the time it gets to the thing, so I ask in advance. Because like for example, all the way back in in Taspin, they have dinosaurs now. They have like devil dinosaurs.
Sure.
Because he rescued they rescued that kid from Jane's Ranch all those
Absolutely.
years ago. And Feck agreed to that, and I was like, oh, he will agree to anything. He will agree
no.
to anything.
No. I am remembering back, and I definitely did not accept everything he threw at me, but I accepted a lot.
There you go. See, this is how you
You're
make
right.
him admit his mistakes.
Right, you're right. You're
I
right.
love-
You Cunningham'd me.
I was
Uh,
pretty surprised though with the full spirit Weaver thing. I brought that up in my little character sheet we all filled out initially, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a core world building thing for my character to make sense. Maybe it's a small little dealio, a weird like bog people thing, local folk magic. And then I show up and I'm like, oh shit, there's other Spirit Weavers. There's a whole dealio going on. I'm like, wait a minute, there's
Yeah.
more of this. He kind of adopted it in. I'm like, ooh, I feel special.
You're special.
Little bits of lore kind of worked in pretty well.
Yeah, you're the one
And
who
I-
screwed my backstory up. Thanks for that. Now I've got
What happened?
emotional problems.
I really shouldn't have invented that big fucking wolf that's gonna destroy me at some point. Lucian, the giant white wolf. God, he's unnecessarily clerical and hot.
And,
I'm sure
and
everything's
honestly,
fine.
quick like narrative tip: if you're gonna have a big evil, like horribly cool thing that's really cool, you can't give it a cool name. Can't have
Lucian?
a
Oh, I'm sure you can. Lucian's a very cool name.
I know, but you can't, like, because you got to give him a dumb name, and then he's cool by his actions, his appearance, and his presence, right? Give me a cool
Oh.
name, then it's like,
This
That's
is
insane.
Bimbo Scrimbo, my giant buff, dangerous creature that's going to kill us all.
I'm simply going to
His name is
disagree.
Himbo.
Names can break a character for me.
Absolutely.
True.
And as somebody who has a lot of difficulty with names, I have to use on the nose names or I will forget them.
True. And plus, if I
Um,
giggle every time before like I hear a dangerous potential threat, I am distracted by finding things funny, and then I will die. So it's hard to respect them. They're called Rebo or something.
For Neo, it's a combination of two things. One, he has the aesthetic that I like. But two, and I think more importantly, is he is the interpersonal / emotional straight man in a lot of scenarios. There's a lot of people here who have a lot of baggage, and that's not to say that Sketch doesn't. But Sketch largely serves as like an audience stand-in for what a normal person would react to seeing all of the crazy stuff that the other party members are doing around him. I don't know if voice of reason is quite the right word for it, because I think he's not quite that. But it's more like
the everyman.
Right, he's the everyman. He's the reaction of reason.
I agree with that completely. And I don't think that's just a Sketch thing either. I think that is like a Neo thing. So I felt that way about Frog, and I already kind of feel that way about Morisco in some situations.
Right, absolutely.
Huh, interesting. Cool.
For Biscuit, it is that he is willing to do stuff. he is assertive, and he's so willing to
do stuff.
Right, and like there are so many times where the hardest part of DMing is getting the players to do something, and Biscuit has no problem with that. He is always willing to like jump out there and do a thing, even if it's like, even if maybe it puts himself in unnecessary danger. If it pushes the story forward, he's willing to jump for it.
That comes from having more experience as a DM than as a player.
Yes, yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Because that's all the DM's job is to push things forward when the ball stops rolling.
Yeah, and they get really depressed when your party is just sitting around and they want to shop.
For the record, if the party actually adamantly wants to shop, I'm happy as a clam. If they're excited about shopping, then I will shop all day. But
not me. I'm yawning. You should have done it between sessions, bro.
See, if the players are finding enjoyment, I don't care how they're finding it. What puts me in that state is when the players are all sitting around not talking and kind of just waiting for something to happen and clearly just vamping. That is what you're very good at squashing, even before I have to come in and squash it.
More about squashing.
More about squashing.
I think more
That
about
made the
squashing.
end gay.
I think for Zeke, it is that he brings the how do I put this? The highbrow storytelling, which is not to say that everybody else is lowbrow, but he consistently brings in a story that is like genre aware and kind of understands where it's going or where it could go and where it might not go. And Jane's story in particular is probably the most highbrow character story that I've seen you play. It's very complicated, but it is presented in a way that is like very relatable. It's very human.
Oh, thanks.
Which is
He
funny,
ripped the
which is
entire
not-
plot from a lesser known 1986 movie called Back to the Future.
Let me tell you, my brows have never gone higher, animatronic or otherwise.
My brow's so
Highbrow
fucking
comes
high right
across
now.
as snooty. I think I should just be saying intellectual instead. It's good intellectual.
That's intellectual is worse.
Is that worse?
Yeah, I like
Psychological.
highbrow better.
Yeah.
No,
intellectual
son
is-
of a bitch.
I think it's psychological. It's
Yeah.
a
about
fundamental
hoity-toity?
or a
Hoity-toity
existential.
is perfect, yeah. Existential is good.
Agreed.
It make you feel things.
Philo is another two-parter. It's A, he has great reactions, and that's why I play D&D, is to make people react. And B, he's fucking hilarious.
True.
Oh, he's not here. He's not here to fluster him.
He's in the Twitch
and
chat, though.
I-
Oh, he's in Twitch chat. That's wonderful.
I
don't know
believe
if I should do that.
now. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I believe Cackles is the mascot for Wellfolk. Is that not true?
Oh, yeah.
That's probably true.
Probably
He's
true.
the what?
Mascot.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tex.
Yeah.
Handmaid's gonna have a mascot here.
I'll just throw myself into a hole.
No. Tex is my mascot. Personally.
We haven't seen each other in forever.
Should hang out some more.
It's okay. He's a cat. When I come back, he'll be like, okay, feed me. And it'll be back to normal. So
For Frisk, it's that he can add emotional depth to literally anything. You can hand him a cardboard box and he'll make you care about it. And in this case, he did not come with a cardboard box. He came with a character that I still cannot fully talk about because not everything is out yet. But a character that is one that I kind of it's very counter to what Frisk normally plays. It's very stoic. It's very, or at least at first, at the surface level. And then, as he always does, he managed to turn that into a huge gut punch.
Hold on, Frisk. What the fuck?
What did they do?
I thought. Oh, we didn't even know. Okay, we didn't. Oh god, there was a lot of your character, and then we realized that your character is not your character, and then now there's more. What do you mean?
Got secrets. What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
You don't understand. It's secrets all the way down with Frisk.
True.
And then the real part of him will finally get revealed in episode last, and then not really get fully revealed. He'll regret it.
Some of them don't even get revealed the end of the campaign, and they have
The way
to come out
Severance is
and.
going.
I need to watch Severance. It's so good.
Sorry.
No spoilers. Eli's not here, but I think we all understand that he is the best player in our group. He is witty. He is hilarious. He has emotional depth. He has everything.
Now, if he was here, would you be more mean?
Yeah.
Maybe a little. Just a tiny bit, though.
I'm just offended that he's chosen a character that is like offensively mean in real life, and I'm concerned. I'm a
Yeah.
skeleton that touches
Yeah.
leaves sometimes.
Man
What's
showed up at
happening?
the table with you on a character sheet.
Like, he has oh my god, his whole Eildwoad is literally my little dude, like the little guy, like
Yeah.
the Pine Mark. What do you mean?
He just played
I think
Jaeger. Yeah.
I think he's
Also,
cheating.
Wait, if you guys are more flattering to people who aren't here, I can go.
I mean, if you want to, we can just talk some real good shit.
So the
No, don't leave. Please don't leave.
real answer for Branch, for Zydro, is that he is willing to dive into like politics and like intrigue at a larger scale than just murder mystery. He's willing to dig into political intrigue at a level that I find interesting. He's very invested in the world. And that kind of segues into the second star that he gets, because he gets 2 stars. And the other star is just that he brings new player energy, which is the best thing that any D&D player can ever do, is have the new player enthusiasm.
Oh my god, yes.
It's the most valuable trait that a D&D player can have.
All right.
AKA
First thing
literally
about you is
just
that you're
play the
new,
game,
and that's
have fun.
degrading.
No, that's why he has 2 stars. That's just one of the stars. He gets a freebie for being new.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. I mean, that
No,
means
I
like
get you.
literally you can do anything and just play the game and have fun.
Yeah,
And these fucks that are so insulated, they will have no idea. And you're just playing the game, but you're bamboozling them at every turn. It's glorious. Keep doing it.
It's beautiful.
it really is.
Just you have an interesting spicy take on a lot of things. You'll attack things that are like, oh well, all these players will be like, oh okay, well that's a thing that happens in this world. And you're like, but fucking why?
Right,
And I'm
amen,
mad now.
exactly.
And then we explore it, and it gets really good. And like it's good stuff.
Okay.
The new player phenomenon is such that you don't know what the expected action is, and so that you just do what your character would do. And sometimes, if people make characters who are assholes, that doesn't work out super well. But sometimes what it means is that you're willing to do something that nobody saw coming, but still propels the story forward.
Yeah, an old jaded character our player will have their character will be like, well, my character moves forward 15 feet and slashes, and then if it's really cool, if it's a crit or if it kills the enemy, I'll describe it. And a new player is describing it first and swinging on the chandelier to get there. Right? You know what I mean? Like it's kind of a little
Right.
different.
Absolutely.
They're cooler. They're
They're
not
cooler.
jaded yet.
Ooh.
New players are just
Plus-
cooler.
Also, for the record, I like when you describe, like, because for me it comes innately. Like I have an idea and I want to do something, and the dice are secondary. I want to do something. I'm going for it. I'm going to describe how I'm going for it, and then if I really roll wrong, then I guess, well, I fucked up. I miss a chandelier and I land
Yeah.
face first.
I
The
mean,
ground trembles and the chandelier falls in my back. Like I don't know.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Decades of D&D will teach you never to describe things first because you might fail.
Correct.
And I think that's
Right.
I think
Not
that's
all the
not
way
fun.
through.
And I fall into that trap too.
No. I mean, not a trap. I mean, like, explain it like you're approaching it. This is your mindset. You're going for this. You're
Bingo.
ready. You think you're super cool, and then you roll shit, and then you let it happen. You let the DM describe
Exactly.
what happens.
No, I find that
That's
really
always
fun.
fun.
I like rolling bad. I think it's funny.
You really nailed or hit the nail on the head there. The idea is to be descriptive and be enthusiastic, but you describe right up to the climax, and you never
Yeah.
describe the climax until you see the dice.
Don't describe the result because you don't know yet. You're still rolling. You got to roll. You got to see the result. And mine's always bad. So I like to imagine that it's going to be super cool first because I know what's going to happen.
Right. And I think that kind of goes both ways too. I think it helps the DM build tension if they describe what the world is doing right up to the point that the player needs to make a save. The player is going to care more about rolling their saving throw if they see that there is a firebolt headed their direction than if you just say, okay, give me a save, and then wait to see what they roll to describe it.
Right. Because you're like, why am I saving? What am I? Like, I can't change the dice result, but like, I want to know what's going
Exactly.
on.
Gotta build that
There's,
tension.
There's another
Yes.
element of that which I think is a little bit toxic, but it affects everyone, including myself, especially older. So like I'll just put it this way, and I think you'll agree with me. Newer players pay attention to what their teammates do, and older players tend to like be on their phone.
Oh, see, I think I feel
Yeah.
the exact opposite.
Yeah, my experience is opposite with that.
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
Interesting.
Opposite.
Huh.
It's been my experience, even in myself as a player, but also with the players that I'm with, where new players are so excited about getting in the head of their character that that's what they do. And older players, more experienced players, understand that what makes this game great is like the connections between characters. And so what they're doing is they're sitting there passively looking for somebody else to do something that they can hook into.
Yeah, that's me. I'm like Velcro. I have no purpose on my own.
I'm just on my phone the whole time.
I'll only see that's the person here.
And then Lush. We should probably finish mine up before I get distracted. Lush is, how do I put this? Lush is the most experienced player that maintains the new player enthusiasm.
Guys.
Yeah, he has permanent new player enthusiasm, which is like a spiritual gift. If Jaeger's the one who brought the most world building, I think Baby Boy is the one who brought the most like interrogation. I get more messages from Lush trying to figure out how the world works and how he can interact with it than
Oh, for
anyone
sure.
else. Which is saying a lot because, for the record, Sidro sends a lot of that too.
Oh.
But yeah, and he made it very clear from with
What?
Lush. And Lush made it very clear from the start that he is okay to kind of just be there as like a catalyst, which is useful to have. He was willing to not fully sacrifice, but he's willing to let his story kind of take a second seat to being a vehicle for other people's stories, which I think is really important.
All right, stop paying attention. Did you ask me something?
No. Go back to Candy Crush.
Okay.
We did it.
We did it.
Got
Wow, we
everybody.
did it.
The answers were satisfactory.
I'm glad.
I thought you were about to ask for a recap. Well,
Yeah.
All right, can you go over that one more time?
I'll allow it.
Let's take that one more time.
Uh-huh. Hey everyone, what's been your favorite moments? Did we already ask this one? Hold on.
We already did favorite moment. This is
been
very
asked twice.
similar.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
No, we didn't do that one. We did like favorite other characters moment, but that's just like your favorite moment.
Huh. I guess
I don't
that's
know.
different.
It's a little different.
Okay. Is it?
I don't know.
Is it different for everyone? Is there just a moment not related to the characters, or just like a happenstance that happened that was real cool?
I mean, the cave will live with me forever.
The cave lives with me
That's-
forever. Too.
That sits as one of the top like D&D moments of my entire D&D career, and like loved it. It like set the trajectory for Jane's whole arc in a way that we've kind of already talked about.
Yeah. With just playing on the new player shit, that was the most nervous I'd ever felt in a fucking during a session with how do I react to any of this. But I think it helps.
glad-
Kinda. I don't know, but I
I'm
really
glad you
liked
acted
it.
the way you did. Yeah.
What? Oh, okay.
you did it really well. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen?
What's funny is I think if that didn't happen, there's no characters that have less to do with each other than Branch and Jane.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Without that scene, they would have never said hello even. Like, man, you're-
their stories are completely separate at this point. But yeah.
I'm glad you
They
said
hate
something.
each other.
Now they fucking hate each
Yeah, that moment was. I love that. Loved it.
Okay. Yeah. That gave me the D&D crush on Zeke. The one that's like, well, how do I be like this person?
Oh shucks.
Yeah. Sorry, I still blame you way more for that than Baby Boy.
It's okay.
My God, Baby Boy
I
literally did it.
I leaned into trying to, like I wanted it to be a defining moment in Jane's story, and whereas Baby Boy was just like, oh, Baby Boy, it wasn't like a serious moment for Baby Boy, but it was like a serious pivotal moment for Jane.
If you want some,
black.
I don't know if I ever said this, but like the peeling back the curtain on that is that Baby Boy is not a sane person in Branch's eyes and doesn't have control and doesn't know things are bad.
Oh, yeah. Like the Baby Boy moniker is not just like a nickname, like he is like a fucking child.
Yeah. But Jane is a whole ass adult human woman.
Correct.
So yeah.
Can't color a hole like that.
Also, Jane did nothing wrong.
Jane did nothing wrong. She was
Never
completely
once.
Branch is the one who was an idiot in that situation.
There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
There is none.
Yeah, it's the case for me too, I think.
Oh, also, this is not even like my moment, but one of the moments that like really stands out to me in my memory, thinking back like the highlights of this campaign, was literally just Feck revealing the map of Sir Chun walking in the background over that like crest.
Yeah.
God damn, Sir Chun is so cool, and that scene was so beautiful.
Hell yeah.
There's been a lot of like really, really cool creative uses of Incarnate in this campaign to make like really cool scenes.
It's the peeking over the horizon to see the landmark in the distance that you're going to eventually, and it's like, yeah, I like that. I've pretty much loved every backstory, and I think that's not only carried by the flashback bits, and that's not only carried by the players, but it's the structure of it, or when Feck chooses to interject them is really neat. You do a really good job at establishing character intention and setting the scene to let them show like why they're like this and stuff like that. Yeah. I guess it's the DM's job or whatever.
It's a little bit of it. And there's a bajillion different ways to DM, but this is something that I picked up from watching a lot of Dimension 20 is they are not afraid to be a little cinematic. They're not afraid to let the players also be the audience a little bit. When it is appropriate for everyone at the table to see a flashback, even though their characters don't know that flashback in character, I think it's worth doing that if it helps like propel the story for everybody.
For sure. We talked about that a lot starting Spirit and Salt too. Like, I don't want to reveal anything in a flashback that you guys aren't comfortable seeing. And I also didn't want everyone to just sit there at the table for 4 hours watching everybody else's backstories, but everyone's like, no, that sounds fucking great.
It's kind of having like a little basis to jump off when you actually talk to these creatures later is really is really helpful. Like knowing somewhat what they're about.
And the two dangers there's like an axis where at one end it is that everybody fully metagames and it comes across as insincere. But the other end of that is that nothing ever comes out and nobody ever does anything, and that in my mind is even worse. And I think you can kind of just like count on the players to metagame responsibly. I think, especially with experienced players.
Yeah. I feel like there's like a bit of a like healthy amount of metagaming you can do with that, where you like everyone is trying to make the story progress in a way that feels genuine, but like sometimes you just gotta like get lucky and happen to ask the right question in a way. Like the example that comes to mind, I guess, is like episode 2 of Spirit and Salt, where Ghost brought up his like chef friend to Morisco. Probably Ghost doesn't say that if he didn't meta have the knowledge of Morisco's backstory scene, but it's still like it's not enough like a outrageous bit of story breaking metagaming. It's just like Drake knows we gotta like move the story along in a certain way and like finds a way to do so. So
we need to connect these characters in some way. It isn't just hey, go murder somebody.
Right.
Exactly. And the big deciding factor there's so many things where it's acceptable to do it if you do it well and unacceptable if you do it poorly. And I think to metagame well, the trick is to just make it seem reasonable, to make it seem believable that you're you take steps towards asking the meta question so that it doesn't seem like it just comes out of the blue.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, you know the thing as a player, but then as your character, you're like, how would this subject even start? Playing as a
Exactly.
character, you ask the question. You ask that to initiate and see where it goes. And usually they won't answer you, and so you just have to pretend that nothing happened, actually.
I would
But
also say
sometimes,
the reverse is also true sometimes. The reverse meta, you should know this, but you can have your character not know that or be mistaken about that, and that is fine because being wrong can be interesting. Because also, first of all, it gives another player a chance to correct you. It can give yourself some flavor. Fetch is wrong about everything.
this
True.
is such a biscuit answer. I love it.
True. Just be wrong. Just have an idea that's false, but your character believes it not because they're dumb, but because of their culture. You know what I mean? I think that's interesting.
Branch being probably not even unintentionally, but slightly racist to to Fetch and Sketch in the beginning. There is something that made a little bit of sense to me in terms of like where he
Got my
is and what he
gun.
knows. Yeah.
I accidentally fall for that Biscuit trick every time it happens, where you'll say something as Fetch that's like blatantly incorrect, and I'll be like, "But Biscuit, we learned last session that that's not true." And you're like, "Bro, I'm trying to be wrong."
Right.
I fuck that interaction up every single time.
Just
And, okay.
Biscuit and all of his characters, he just slams down the pamphlet. Actually, he says something wrong. He just waits. Here we go. We're
I'm
debate
not
time.
even-
Here we go, buddy.
Like, I'm not even joking or exaggerating. It's roleplay bait. That's all it is.
Yeah,
Right.
it's fun. It's good.
Yeah,
it's
which is
baiting the
delicious and
conversations
wonderful.
that need to happen.
I think
A thing
it's
that I
like,
think-
it's because all the characters say it with the same confidence that Biscuit IRL says his facts, which
I was
is
about to
like
say-
jarring.
This kind of jumps into one of the benefits of playing at a table versus online is if you're not a person who does character voices, which is totally fine. I rarely do. It's easier to tell when somebody is talking in character at a table, even if they're using their real voice. And I think that
Oh,
can
yeah.
get lost very easily on Discord.
For sure, body language is huge.
Yeah. Huge. Personally, I have the problem of overwhelm. There's a lot going on, and it's all extremely interesting.
Mhm.
But boy, howdy, there's a lot of people who have more interesting things to say in my perspective because I love watching this. I love listening and figuring out character stories that I get so like, what? Wait a minute, I haven't played Ruko. Who's Ruko? Who the fuck knows Ruko? Nobody. So I'm like, I'm getting there. We're getting there, but it's
You-
taken 60 episodes.
You need to play a character that's like super nosy and interested in other people. That
Yeah,
way you have
yeah,
a
I
reason to be
realize.
nosy and interested in
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah, I
Part of
realize
that too is
playing
just-
a bitch is a problem in a large group. Don't play bitches in big groups. Just
Once again,
be talkative, be social, engage, be inquisitive, curious. I don't know. Play the fucking game. Don't be
Amen.
big, please.
Or
once again, we're in such a huge group. Like playing with 10 players is not wise.
Yeah. And
it's such a relief to me though sometimes to be playing quiet bitch in this past, so I get to just sit and like listen and watch you guys play.
right, yeah.
It's nice sometimes to just
Yeah.
sit back and eat popcorn and watch you guys roleplay.
Were you the loud bitch before?
Yeah, Pip.
Oh yeah.
That's a wonderful creature.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pip
Pip,
was
who we
not a
miss
quiet
dearly.
character. He's talking all the time.
Well, he's like a toddler, so
Sometimes I hope that Jane's story ends the way that I think it will, with her just being essentially erased from the timeline and disappearing from this campaign and having never existed, and then I can just like play Pip until the campaign ends. Reprise him 30 years later as like a grizzled old Pip.
No, when Pip touched that crystal the first time, he's like, "Oh yeah!" He was actually absorbing Jane's life force energy through him.
It probably was.
oh my god.
I could feel time. I don't know how you do this voice.
It does not feel great on the throat after a little while, but
Oh, I had the same thing with the bubble.
This crystal feels like time and anxiety.
hey Feck, while you're still here.
Yeah.
Athan and Tex have been revealed to be rather significant figures in the history of Wild Folk world. How did setting that up go? Was it more that the players picked out niches in your world building, or that you built significant events around their characters?
This is such a great question because the two of them are exactly the opposite answer. Tex was very much an instance of like, Drake has this kind of vague character concept, and he comes to me and says, "This is what I've got. Where do I fit in?" And I had a whole bunch of stuff already set up thanks to Jaeger and Neo and Biscuit that like pretty clearly set up a place where there's a ton of monsters that could very easily fit what I knew about Tex at the time. So I'm like, okay, here you go. Here's your spot. This is perfect. It even gets you to start next to Root. Entire place where I could essentially just take that whole package and drop them in, and it worked out beautifully.
Hey, Vex, sorry.
Mhm.
The stream is dead.
The stream's dead.
Oh no, you have to repeat all of it.
It ended right as you started answering the question.
All right,
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
you have about 25 seconds to cuss. Let it out.
Shout out your racial slurs, everyone.
Winky.
Weird. The stream still says it's online.
Everybody say it's dead, and it's not working for me neither.
Weird. Let me take a look.
Oh, it seems to be
Might-
working for me, but I might
Seems
just
to be
be
working.
behind.
It might be on Twitch's end too.
Oh wait,
It's
maybe
working
we're
for
good
me, and
now.
I think we're streaming off the same.
Okay,
things,
no, we're
right?
good now. We're good now.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good.
Okay.
Anyway, it sounds like you guys, a big chunk of you missed all of that answer. So I'm going to do it shorter this time. It's fascinating because they both are kind of different ends of that spectrum. Hex was very much like, Drake came to me and said, "I have a rough idea for a character. What does he fit in your world?" And I was like, cool, I got a perfect spot. I know exactly where he can fit in the world thanks to a couple of other backstories that have been presented by Jaeger and Neo and Biscuit. And then Frisk with Ethan was exactly the opposite, where he essentially delivered to me a whole package of stuff and said, "This is what I would like. If you need to change anything, that's fine. Let me know. But if possible, I would like this to just be dropped straight into your world wherever it fits." So it was kind of the exact opposite experience where I just took his bundled up little package and dropped it into the world.
Can I ask, was that unique for any of the other characters? Was there fun world building that came up with anyone else?
Let me run through the lineup. Let me do the lineup.
Honestly,
Looking with my eyes, looking with my eyeballs.
I love as a DM when some player brings me some shit. You know,
Yeah, same.
sometimes it, like if you can go too far with it and be like, how am I supposed to build in this race of semi-sentient robot people into their planet that's going to crash into our planet in 11 days?
Right.
yeah.
But-
yeah.
To the extent that you chill out about it and just bring me some cool stuff to plug into my world, love it. Like,
Ruko's
like
got you.
Ghost bringing me all of the city of Amber.
Yeah, exactly.
Very, very, very quick before we do this. Where the heck is this draw pile? Because I cannot find it for the life of me.
Oh, there's a link over in Telegram. I'll ping it.
Thank you. Yeah. I was surprised the world building stuff there's a lot from me because I feel like I was just telling you my character story. I don't know what.
So that's the thing is, it wasn't just you. You and Neo and Biscuit were secretly collaborating the entire time. And the three of you were always very like back and forth. It was a very collaborative thing where each of you kind of presented a thing. And I'm like, okay, how can I sculpt this to fit with the other things that have been presented? And then by the end of it, there was kind of an amalgamation of what the three of you guys had presented to me.
That kind of
Um,
answers a question in the back of my head because like they all had spirit weavers in their backstory, and I was wondering how involved all three of them were, or were they all separate?
Sketch and Fetch knew a lot about each other. Ruka was kind of under the impression that he was on his own, and to a certain degree he is. I know this has come up multiple times in the campaign itself, but Ruka's sect of Spirit Weavers is like the old ancient sect. It is the original branch from which the others have sprung.
And I'm pretty sure I did invent that Spirit Weaver term because I was
Yes,
doing the whole
Yep.
world building in my own little zone. And then
Sure
Tech
did.
was like, actually, this could apply here, and then twist the magic and do some spiciness. I'm like, ooh, this is cool. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. I'm the old
James
I'm
was-
the Catholics of this world. No, not really.
Oh, it
just
goes
to
older
just
than
bring it
Catholic.
up again. Another thing I really like about Jaeger is character and world building go hand in hand with him. So when he's making a character, he's also building a world.
Mm-hmm. It's real neat.
Yeah.
I am the epitome of Velcro. I need context and situation to shape a character. I can't just have a character and then build a world around them. I need a world around them to shape a character.
It's
How is that Velcro?
It's so funny that you say that because I was about to talk about Jane, and Jane is a character who was built as a character in a vacuum. And Zeke essentially said, "You can drop this character anywhere, just tell me where it fits." I have a story. It is a very character-driven story. There's a little bit of like magic that ties into it, obviously with all the chronomancy stuff. But ultimately, if he essentially said, if this character works in your world, great, thumbs up. If not, I understand. Time travel is a huge thing. I will go back to the drawing board. And it was similar to Frisk, except a much smaller package and a much more like modular package that I was able to kind of just drop in. Phyllis was kind of the same way. There was mostly like most of what Philo presented to me was character-based stuff. It was interpersonal stuff about his family, about his background, about his time, his experience, and very much less about like, okay, this is what I want Gorchidiga to be like. This is what I want my homeland to be like. There was a little of that, but not to the degree of like Ruko or Sketch or Fetch.
Right, so like Kaz was like the social network building character, kind of for
Yeah.
character. Zeke
Right,
was like
and-
storyline building, sort of a narrative
Absolutely.
story to start with. Interesting.
And this is something I think I associate very closely with Philo on, is when I'm building a character, I'm much more interested on like, here's what the character's family is like, here's what their connections are like, this is what their personal problems are like. You can drop me anywhere in the world that fits. I don't really, it's not that I don't like world building, I obviously do, but I can make a character fit into any environment more easily than I can like try to sculpt an environment around the character.
If I remember, I think I just came to you with a list of themes and ideas about a character, and then you fill in all the intermediary shit.
Absolutely.
Sideshow shows up like, I want to fight God.
Yeah, you were similar to Dan and Kaz in that most of what you had was like, here's my character. The only things I know about my character is like they grew up in an impoverished area. There was kind of a weird penal system, but everything else was just like character stuff. And I was like, cool, I got a city just for you.
Okay. Hey.
Baby Boy Extreme other end, he has brought so much world building to the campaign. I think he is actually the only person who's brought world building that I was not able to get everything that he wanted. There were things that he wanted that I just didn't find a way to fit easily, which I think is kind of a danger of doing like extra dimensional or multiverse stuff. There's always a little bit of a danger of that. But I think we settled on something that we're both very happy with, and I love where we landed with like the library and nowhere and the garden and the mazes and everything. It's a very like kind of trippy, half eldritch, half grim fairy tale sort of vibe.
I'm still not super sure what exactly the library is. People can go there, but only certain people. Is it a well-known one? It's referred to as the library, and there's the librarian. And if you know, I think it's like if you know, you know. In the world,
I can't speak to this much at all. What I can say,
I'll roll.
and this is a bit of a curtain peel. I don't think it's too spoilery, but it at least is a bit of a hand tip. Early on in planning this campaign, Lush was not sure if he was going to be able to play full time. And so a lot of what we built was intentionally designed to be sort of like a background thread, a thing that could show up every now and then, but wasn't so integral to the plot that it would need to be discovered and talked about constantly. It would need to be like a main quest thread, essentially. So it's very modular in its design. And obviously it's grown beyond that now that he's a full-time player. Especially tying in with Jane's story and a little bit with Foster and Ruko's story.
And speaking of tying in, it's incredible that you were able to like tie in all of these things for the record. Because one, we got time travel. We got weird dimensional space things that called weird demon things, monsters, baby boy, and whatnot, a library, and then a whole world with different regions, dialects, and creatures.
The secret is that there are only 3 stories happening in this campaign. 3 overarching stories. Because nobody really cares about the overarching story as long as it's coherent. What people care about are the characters who are swept up in those stories and how those stories affect their lives.
True, because we're the players. But yeah, for me, it was like, I don't know. I need context to build a character. I need something, anything, any sort of seed that begin, and then I'll build a world in my head around the character to shape what's normal, what's not, what's social, what's conflict, what's the driving forces, and then I'll slowly narrow into an actual character.
Yeah.
That's Ruko happening, but he's in his own little bug world over there, being weird and spooky.
I'm very excited to get over there. I know we've not actually explored much of Blimidel yet. You guys kind of started there and then immediately bailed from there because your backstory was we're running away from this place.
Are we going
Right.
back there?
And
You can go back at any time, I think.
I was going to say, I imagine at some point you guys will probably go back there, and I'm excited to see it.
Let's meet your brother.
No,
Isn't your brother in the lighthouse we're going to?
no, he's off somewhere else being cool.
He's mogging with the best of them right now.
Whatever those words are, I hate them.
Can I bring up how good Drake is at being and portraying a cat, and how self-justified a cat is?
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
the entire
It ties
first
to the backstory too. Yeah.
the entire first time Texas appears is one of the greatest moments I've ever seen in any D&D thing. Period.
Oh yeah, 1000%.
It was so funny.
Just like, attack, backflip him, just kill this other player.
I will not be ignored, Brett.
Oh yeah, wait, yeah, we did a little one-on-one session.
Yeah.
With him being an absolute goblin in the background. I'm like, I'm trying to work, but feed me. I have something to say. Extreme cat behavior.
Beautiful.
It is amazing that you managed to make a character whose the theme is this is a cat, but that it like take fucking if the Sam Riegel approach to that would be keep the fucking drama bits separate from the actual like joke bits of being a cat, but the actual character bits like tie in really well to him being a cat. It's very fun.
It's very hard to imagine Tex becoming any other animal because a cat is the perfect fit.
I was gonna say Tex's like whole story is essentially just anti-cat. Not even anti. It was just propaganda about cats and about other awful monsters. Like everything he does that's awful. It's like, oh, it is just like a cat, and also like this heinous swamp monster.
It would just be a cat thing to genocide an entire town because you wanted to kill 5 people.
I just needed to draw them out.
Yeah.
I know this isn't a DM roundtable, but I'm going to interject something that is very valuable that I learned from that whole experience. When in doubt, when making a choice between having the world behave as it would, as an absentee clockmaker god, or asking your player what their desired outcome is, always do the latter. Always do a little peek to the side and say, hey, what are you trying to get out of this?
I'm trying to get off.
Oh.
It's like why you played it asexual.
I'm not getting off to his sexuality. I'm getting off to the connections.
Yeah, you misunderstand how Frisk works sexually.
Okay.
The highs of like happiness and the highs of like sadness and anger and rage. As long as it's very emotional, I don't have emotions in real life,
Oh.
so I need catharsis in my games.
The climax of a story is the climax indeed.
Yeah.
For real, though, that resonates so much.
Since we're praising me for a second, I'm going to do a text question because
Hell yeah.
I feel like it. Which one of the player characters does Tex like the most, tolerate the most, trust the most, and hate the most?
Love it.
And who does he think he can manipulate easiest to achieve his goals?
Oh, we all know the answer to that last one.
Likes the most is probably Fetch.
Wow.
I feel like the rest are all Jane. Tolerate, trust, hate, and manipulate.
Trusts the most is probably Jane, but not because he trusts Jane, but it's because he trusts that he understands how Jane works.
Right.
Hates the most is Ruko.
Aw.
It's because
just
he's
broke your heart for real life.
Jerry's weakness.
because you talk to him. Go back to talk to Adel.
Edel.
Is it Edel? Has it been Edel this whole time?
Edel.
Oh, he said
Whatever.
Edel. Tolerates is probably Sketch.
Wow.
Yeah.
And manipulate is also probably Ruko.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what you think.
Got
Secret
him.
villain arc over here.
That's
Hope
the
you're
trick.
both
You gotta
trying
make
to
them
manipulate
feel
each
like
But
other.
you're
no, he
manipulatable
hates
until they
Ruko because
manipulate.
Ruko is very much like Edel.
Look what he made you do. In a good Ruko's helpful. Edel's danger.
Edel's a badger right now.
True.
And Tex is a cat right now. We're
Yeah,
moving
yeah.
beyond that.
They're
That's what he
perfect for
gets.
each other.
Yeah, they're compatible? Question mark.
And in terms of Pokemon egg groups, probably.
I think their first interaction after a while was Tex trying to tear his throat out or threatening to. And
Yeah.
I'm like, huh, you know,
Maybe this is a toxic relationship.
and Edel just going, I
I
accept
killed his
it.
dad, and then he turned me into a cat. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
toxic relationship, you guys. I'd file this one under it's complicated.
Hey, here's a similar question for everyone from the last roundtable that I've pulled up the spreadsheet for. Who in the party do you think will help you get to your character's personal objectives?
You're gonna have to call someone out.
We've got to go for everyone on this one.
Could you repeat the question?
Who in the party do you think will help you get to your character's personal objectives? Like what other PC do you think is going to be the most instrumental in you achieving your objectives as your character?
I have two answers right now. One, I've somehow managed to convince Athens to like me. Somehow. Who fucking knows how?
I just do. You're not a bad person. You're just fucked up.
And the other right now is genuinely kinda, when I think about it, with where things are going, probably Tex, honestly.
Really, not Kaz?
Kaz is a boat.
Wow. You're not a socialite.
Kaz doesn't have the fire. Kaz won't do what's necessary.
Oh, I know more about Kaz than you do, and I don't think that's true.
Oh, okay.
I know a lot about Philo, and I was going to say that's not true.
All
I
right.
think that what the reason that is coming across that way is because we haven't really seen much of Kaz's story. It's just been, oh, he's cursed and he doesn't know why.
Well, we've seen that, he's trying to go save his family, and we know he's like, hey, make bombs for me.
Yeah, Kaz is very smart, and Philo is very smart, and I've seen this in his previous characters too, where he is very willing to bide his time, but when it is finally his turn to strike, he explodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Branch and Kaz have also both, they have 10 sacrifices ready. Like, they're clearly willing to do stuff.
Oh yeah, true. They lined up fucking 10 death row inmates to sacrifice. Like, that's pretty big.
So, peeling back, just a little bit. All that plan, everything involving Liteon, everything like in the way they're approaching the situation, all of that has been Branch's idea, and Kaz has been going along with it. And there might be something there with that in terms of like. Yeah, I'm probably not getting into it until it's relevant, but yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, but like the fact that like he's been more passive towards and it's just he's being the fucking Saul Goodman to Branch's Walter White at the moment, if that makes sense. In that we have a boat that can take us there and get us there discreetly. It's the vehicle more than the actual method. If that yeah. Anyway,
I don't know these references, but I hear those are very good shows.
Yeah.
Just give an F for Better Call Saul. Hang on.
No, Better Call Saul is one of my favorite shows.
I love that.
Yeah.
Just answering a character name question in the chat. Yeah, it's pronounced Athan, but I don't really care how everyone will pronounce it differently.
The real reason Branch started calling you Ace is because Athan is too hard for me to say.
I know. They're like Athan, Ace. Yeah, there we go.
Ace, yeah. It's also a fitting nickname, I think, for him from Branch.
It is?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you're the Ace.
You're literally the Ace.
Are you going to start calling me homo? Is that how this works?
What are
I thought Ace meant you were good at things.
Yeah.
Oh, that Ace. Okay, that makes more sense.
It's the other Ace.
The other.
Yeah, it was just coincidental that it's also the other thing.
I have to know, did Zeke draw this pip?
Yes.
I'm so proud of you.
Thanks. It's the best piece of art I've ever done.
It really is.
I thought his leaf was the cool S for a second, but it's not.
So I should have done a cool ass leaf. Next character is going to be a cool ass leaf plant.
Okay.
Well, I drew Cackles, and nobody
look
said
at
anything
you.
about it.
I love your cat. I also love your smiling cheetah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Tex's best friend currently is Jane.
1,000%.
That's wild.
I think that when at the start of this campaign, the character that I thought was going to be the most important for her to accomplish her goals was Baby Boy. And I still think Baby Boy is going to be important because he has access to a weird, extra-worldly place that probably I need to go to do some time travel. But I increasingly think my answer to this question is either Tex or probably Fetch. Because Fetch is this is going to blow up in her face soon. But when she very first met Fetch, session 1 and in the intervening couple of sessions, she was like, oh, here's an angry guy who's not all that bright that I can point at the things that I need murdered because I don't know how to murder things and he'll do it.
And I autonomously saved your life in that episode.
Absolutely. 1,000,000%. And I think we're maybe in the process of that use of Fetch kind of blowing up in Jane's face because she's been not all that great to Fetch.
I can't wait to wrestle control over all of them.
But then Tex is she doesn't think that she can use or manipulate Tex, but she does think her and Tex might just actually go kill the people that she needs killed because it's in his interest too. In some cases, I don't know. I guess that's also what she feels about Fetch.
I don't think any of us can trust Jane to really help us solve our problems because Jane isn't it the case that Jane believes when she solves her problem, all of our problems will be in the past. So what's the point, right?
Essentially, but then that begs the question: do you think she's right?
Yeah.
Jane is 100% willing to help save Switch and to do whatever she can to stop Tesseract and blah 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 blah, because she needs to do that stuff to accomplish her goal of going back in time and saving Donnie. But to the extent that you don't think she's right and that you think that her actions do have lasting consequences, she will actually help you.
Well, here's the thing, though. Even if she is right, you'll go back in time and we'll have never met, and then things will go different, and then you would never have helped us on anything, and then all of our problems return again, right? So
but only if she's right. Right. The question is, do you think she's actually right or not? Because if you don't think she's right and you think you can essentially use her and her belief in the fact that her actions don't matter, so what does it matter what she does? There's a angle where you use her to your ends because she has no scruples.
But you could also just throw a bomb at the thing with her mom in it and blow it up.
And I would if it meant I could go back
See?
in time.
There's you can't
I don't
trust
think
me.
I don't
There's
know
more
if I
as far as we
would.
can throw her.
That's
The
the
issue, the issue
That's-
is that
that's
she's
the, like-
not. She's inconsistent with it herself.
Well, and
But,
that's
like,
like,
if you think
that's
about
like
it-
the arc that Jane has like gone on too. Like she started out in a place of like utter certainty in her sort of belief that like this was all happening the way that she thinks it will, and that like certainty is definitely cracked over the last, especially like mostly from being around Ruko, who sort of like, and Foster to an extent, like implanted in her the idea that like maybe the things that I do in this life matter, even if it is impermanent, which is like the underlying philosophy of her whole story is like, do the things we do matter even if they are temporary? Like
Every moment you tell in your story is still your story that you can still
Yeah.
tell.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I see her as a truly like nihilistic character. Now maybe she has like emotions and morals that are steering her away from that, but logically speaking, she has no reason not to be nihilistic to every problem except her own.
Oh yeah, 1,000,000%, absolutely. And I think that she like, I don't know, I think that she's on an arc away from that way of thinking, but I don't know, maybe not. It's like, it really is going to be a question of like how realistic her goal ends up looking. Like there's no question she wouldn't pull the trigger right now if she could, and maybe that'll change, but
I think you
I don't
kind of half answered the Oh, go ahead.
I desperately want the conclusion of Jane's story is to have Jane be totally and fully successful and about to push the button when the rest of us kill her.
that would
I
be
want the
most, like,
culmination.
that would be the
Jane's
most like
story.
narratively
Okay.
satisfying. No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I want the culmination of Jane's story to be she adopts twins. They become the new daddy.
One thing that I like know without question is that like, because I know Fak isn't the world's biggest dog shit DM, I know that Jane's like, no matter how successful Jane is, it's not actually going to undo anything else about anyone else's story. There's no universe that Fak does that to you guys as players.
Oh, you
So
don't
whatever her like best, that's yeah, I guess whatever her best like version of her story is, still I think involves just maybe like her disappearing and you know the things that she did still having been done. You know what I mean? But like, there's no like, Fak's not going to unwrite events that happened in this campaign. I don't believe, at least not for other players than
I
Jane.
mean, but you could because it's time travel.
I know, but it would be
Mm.
bad storytelling, and it would be like more than bad storytelling. It would be like deeply shitty to do to the rest of the players. The
Right.
last thing I want is Jane to be like the main character of this campaign and her actions to affect you guys' stories. That's not the goal. My perfect ending for Jane is that she literally just like writes herself out of the universe and she's just gone and none of you remember her, and or I don't know,
It's-
maybe you remember her and the things that she did, but she's just disappears from this universe. And
I've been there, done that.
Is Jane the only
Fix.
person in this campaign who can pinpoint a situation where it all went wrong and go, yes, that's where I want to change it?
Oh
That-
shit! No,
that's-
that's when I was born.
Yeah, Ruko's been that for his whole fucking life.
Tex kind of has that.
Tex could Tex like pinpoint a specific? Yeah, could anyone else pinpoint a specific point when it all went wrong and just like go that didn't happen and have everything be fixed? Or is
Yeah,
Jane the only one
my-
with that?
My mom and brothers were assassinated.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
see,
yeah.
I
I'm so
think
glad-
me and Sketch are the only two members that can answer no to that. There is not a single moment. We're fighting against the inevitable progress of time and technology.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I am so
I
glad
don't
you asked
think
this question,
Tex
and I
can
want
either, really.
I like, this is a question that Jane has wondered in character and that has like boggled her mind when like people when she's gotten like the flack that she's gotten for her plan. She's like, well, how do you guys not also want this? You know, she looks at Foster and is like, you don't want to just go back and undo what happened to you? You don't want to go back and just be with Thalia with what you know now and like not end up in this hell you're in? Like she goes back, she thinks about like Tex is like, you don't want to like go back and undo the shit that was done to you? You don't want to be
Well,
uncursed?
That kind of ties with my answer to the question, which is the person who would be most useful to Athen depends on what Athen's ultimate goal is. Because it's been kind of this changing thing, right? He woke up, he's like, fuck, I still have this unfinished business I have to deal with. I still need to either kill my dad or fix whatever he's trying to do. And if that's the goal, then it's Jane, because he doesn't say it, but he notes every single like avenue of attack that he can have. And chronomancy, he's like, I've seen it. Okay. I didn't believe it at first because I have no magical prowess whatsoever, but I study a lot. I have no actual means to do it, but if I can get Jane to make a scroll, and if she actually goes back in time, then I can go back in time and kill my dad for real.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
I can go back and prevent the assassination of like my family, right?
if she goes back and only fixes her problem, she'd be the worst person in the world.
Right, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like how far can you do it? How much can you change in history?
Yeah,
Right.
Should I
the
do
funny
it?
thing, the funny
Right?
thing about time travel is that, yeah,
Even
It's
if
really
it just
we
means
got several things that will just erase entire character stories and basis
Yeah.
for their stories. So it's like, what do you do?
Yeah, that's the thing.
What do you do?
And that's where I don't know. Obviously, I can't comment on his plans, but I feel safe saying that like there's not a version of Jane's story where she can go back and fix other characters' backstories and effectively remove them from the campaign too. You know what I mean?
So
That's not going to happen. So
the next question is a question for everyone.
I'm not
And it
finished with
is,
my answer.
what is your least favorite thing about Sidro? Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
Sorry, is that joke? Go ahead first.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right, yeah. The other side of that.
Oh, wait.
Hi,
No cusses.
no cusses. Hi, stream. Are we back?
We're back.
Right. So the other thing is, Branch has kind of opened Athens' eyes, right, into kind of looking away from this one narrow road, and is now like, actually, I'm really tired of doing this thing that people told me I have to do that I believe because like we really needed to do it back then.
Oh, hell
Like
yeah.
what they did was manipulative. They took a child who believed that everything that happened was his fault because it's his father's blood and it's in his veins, so he has to fix it. His uncle didn't want to do that, but again, they were very pragmatic back then. They said we needed like a figurehead. We needed someone. We needed propaganda because we needed to make a prophecy. Because otherwise, what do we have? We have a bunch of people who, as soon as they die, they become a part of the other side. We're not gonna win unless we have more people alive than we have dead. And
Go
yeah, and
ahead.
Athens just like I don't know if this unfinished business is something I have to keep doing because is this really what I want or is this what people want me to do? And lately he's been looking around him and he remembers everything his father actually taught him prior to the desolation, prior to like the assassination of his family. And he remembers one, we don't like slavery. We're trying to be fair. We're trying to make a safe haven for other people. And around him, this is bullshit. Unma is in a terrible state. Maybe his path isn't one of killing the king, and it is becoming the king and continuing his father's legacy. The legacy he knows, and not the legacy that history ended up with. And it's like becoming a fair king. But first, I have to kill everyone. The government needs to lose its head.
I love the fact that I've managed to somehow sway what I think most people would probably agree is like the most, maybe Jane, never mind. Athens is the one who is like the most set in his goals, like the most like this needs to happen and stuff like that. And I like that. I love I love in like hero and fantasy based storytelling the idea of what happens next. I've always thought that's a cool like line of thought to go down.
I just started watching Fragranted. That's so good. Sorry, interjection on that note. Carry on.
It is so good.
where
what happens next?
Because Athens is the most like it's the most like prototypical fucking like hero slays bad guy story.
Mhm.
With like a lot of other, with the interesting thing being the whole like parenthood and all that aspect, but like like taking it from like Branch's perspective and shit like that, or like the perspective I usually like of like, yeah, you've killed the big bad evil guy who was doing the like big bad evil thing that like most people probably wouldn't have like a an attachment to. How does this affect their lives? And I really like that. That's something that changed with like Athens like thought patterns and stuff like that. That's neat.
Yeah, my friend Branch is going to help me save the poors.
Kind of playing off of that. We all know, like I said, the character that's going to help us with our goals, but who do you think is the character that's going to help you grow the most as a character?
Ruko, and it's not close.
Yeah,
Maybe Ruko and Foster. Yeah, kind of hand in hand. Yes, Ruko and Foster. And also, like, maybe Kaz as a dark horse. I've not had enough interactions with Kaz yet that weren't just purely pragmatic, but I think there's he's a big-hearted guy.
Branch, Foster, Fetch and Sketch. For reasons that haven't come up yet.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Foster and probably Athan.
You could call him Ace too, I guess. Make
No,
him a
I don't
nickname
want to
that's
call him
easy.
Ace.
Yeah, make him a nickname that works for you.
Okay. And Fetch in a weird way, but not the way you think. Probably.
Right now, in terms of changing, probably Ace and Jane, honestly, a little bit. Not
Yeah.
Yeah. that was a big moment for Branch. Jane doesn't think about it.
Wait, which moment? Cave moment?
The cave moment.
Oh, Jane
Yeah.
thinks about cave moment all the time.
All the time? Okay.
Defining moment. You gotta remember, Jane is a fucking farmer who like went to school and was like, maybe I'll
Yeah.
go see if I can figure out how to do better chronomancy. She didn't like think she was setting out on a life of violence and adventure. She thought she was going to a library.
Oh, Branch was
And-
only there because they saw it was like 100 gold or something in the beginning. Go
Right.
ahead. Yeah.
No, just like that was a paradigm shift in Jane. That was like the moment that she's like, oh, okay. I have to undo this now, like that I have now done a despicable thing that is not in her mind, like that this is not me. I don't do this. So this has to happen.
It's it's honestly more like a for like Branch looking at it, it's more like a how do I not be like this person?
Right.
How do I actually take some little bit of responsibility for once in my fucking life?
Right.
But yeah.
1000%.
Yeah.
Who hasn't spoken yet?
You haven't.
Oh, I looked at Twitch stream and I saw Ruko and he looks disgusting. I'll fix him. Anyways. Oh geez, so the most character development potential, most you can learn from, that's the question?
Yeah, like which character will help your character grow the most? Like help the character grow.
Well, let's see. Oh boy. I think so far it's going to be Tex for sure. And then
Yes.
also Ethan continues to perplex to the degree where I can no longer trust a single thing he says.
What has
Until
he done?
Finally,
Let the hate flow through you.
I don't know. I don't know. We've had very little time to parse the several characters that have passed since I've seen him last. That kind of thing.
We're together right
several
now.
Characters. I know we're together now, but there's many layers. You see, there's lots of layers.
Fetch still thinks he's called Narafi.
Yeah. Well, definitely nothing against Narafi for sure. It's very intriguing, but there's a lot going on. There's a little time to parse. I don't know if it's a character problem or Ruko because he thinks too much, and it's probably both. Other one is going to be Jane, I think, for this nihilist perspective.
Right.
Is Ruko has constantly, his life has been based around trying to, I don't know, seek the old things, find meaning in stuff, and figure out why things are still worth it when the world's shitty. You know, just like shit happens. And you just gotta, I don't know, if you have any good memory at all of anything, it's part of your story. His whole deal is telling stories. And even if you completely remove the fact that it's useful or worthwhile or undo everything in a time weirdness or your little bit that you go on an adventure for is not actually worthwhile, it doesn't matter. You had a story and you could talk about it and that's fun. Like that is your story. There's no wasted time. And when he hears Jane talking, he's like, okay, but you are on this journey for an indeterminate amount of time. Who cares if that time will be reversed? It's like you're living this story. You're still living this experience. Like, can we like be here? Like, be here. Enjoy the story while it's going on.
For sure. Jane,
Because
that's
he's
like
got an insurmountable fear of the future. So fuck, let's please just live in the present.
yeah, that's
Ruko.
basically Jane has similarly has a insurmountable fear of like the present and it existing at all, and like it hasn't accepted. She's never like grieved properly for Donnie. Like she woke up as a robot and basically was like, okay, well that doesn't happen. That simply cannot happen. She's just stuck in the denial phase of grief forever until somewhere between like denial and bargaining, where she's just like, all right, well, I'm going to fix this because it cannot happen and does not happen. So like
bargaining.
And like everything fell apart between her and Booker over their sort of over the grief of all of that, and she has like not allowed herself to exist as present in a moment until essentially meeting Ruko, until like because she like lost that with Booker. So like Ruko and Foster are like in their brief little adventure together, like very much brought Jane back to a place of like, all right, this does matter whether I undo it or not. It is happening, and the fact that it's temporary doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
Right. And Ruko's trying to get across that sure it might be temporary, it might be the moment, but it's still part of the story. It's something. It's a tale you can tell. It's something that you can. It was a nice moment that you can relay. And maybe when this is all done and over, and you get your kid back and everything, and whatever happens, it's still, you don't want that to just be a huge blank in your history, unable to speak about it because it just didn't happen. I mean, you'd like to tell the tale of how it happened, right? Like, just be here, enjoy the little moments you have, because there's no escaping the present. You're here. Let's just have a tea, have a good chat. Ruko will bring up some things, be like, okay, well, I don't know, remember some things that you like, because I'm curious. It's just like, I don't know, trying to figure out like new things to like or new things I've never tried. Like apple cider with 90% alcohol. That sure would be great.
For sure.
I don't
Yeah.
know. He's just curious. So yeah, Jane I think has been a definite learning experience with the full on dread of the present, which is not familiar to him.
Right. I think she also learns a lot, certainly from Ruko, and also similar token from Foster, and from Foster in a unique way where like I don't think, like, I know obviously Ruko has some trauma in his past. I don't think Jane knows as much about it, but like, Foster's is pretty like out in the open. That's a dead guy who's on a mission to go kill the guy who killed him. So that's the one that really is like, because Foster obviously embraces the moment and embraces who he is and embraces, that's the one that gets her, is like, how do you not also want to do what I'm doing? How do you like accept your situation and not just like reject it outright?
Right. I feel like there's elements of that same question to explore with Ruko, but it's less, well, I don't know. Ruko's got big story. It goes far back. He's got too much past to deal with and too much uncertain future to deal with. So the present's all he's got. That's kind of where he's grown up in. And bombs. I love terrorism.
Terrorism's so great.
You need to talk to Belmore.
I can't believe how many terrorists we have in this group. It's great.
Which ones of you are terrorists?
Technically, Branch, if you go by the FBI.
Yeah, actually, that's an interesting point to make some similarities between Sketch and Fetch and Ruko's whole dealio. Is that Sketch and Fetch have grown up in a whole environment that's constantly shifting. Like there is no certainty. You know, the actual landscape changes. It's nomadic. It's shifting. It's blah blah blah. And then and the Sketch gets yoinked and enslaved. Well, geez, there's just never been stability or certainty. Like that's wild. And I think Ruko, to relate with it, is like there's this whole wealth of past and like stories and continuity going on, but now we're in this like war state, this like this guerrilla movement, this like I don't know, this whole rebellion movement, and everything is uncertain. Anyone you know could die. Like it's just that's what made Ruko focus on the present because shit, I don't know what else to do, but it makes it worthwhile. That's kind of where he's coming from. A baseline point is that Ruko thinks too much, and there's too much just context depth that I don't know how to speak to in the moment. So he sits and he watches with his creepy glasses, just stares at you.
Who's the most fuckable NPC?
Oh God!
There's an argument of X.
Really? Okay, that's crazy because that's also Lucia's answer, and I didn't think it would be anyone else's. In my mind, Argumentative is not even a little bit fuckable.
Because he's
Wait, that's the chubby one, right?
No, you're thinking of Severalex. That's his daughter.
Severalex. Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Okay, I was going to say that's crazy.
I haven't even.
Anyway, Lucia's answer is Argumentative.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Isn't he Bones? Like just
He's a lich. He's a full-on lich.
Yeah.
Also, I think I killed it with this Jane hand. I think I killed it.
It's a very
really good.
This question depends on one answer, Zeke. Does Booker look like Booker DeWitt from Bioshock Infinite?
Yeah, exactly. Like, and that's where his name came from.
Then it's Booker. Then it's Booker. Holy shit! It's like the hottest man in all of video games.
Can I have a list of all the NPCs, please? And
right,
also,
like I'm pulling it.
It's probably Lucian.
It's Darbin. You guys are all wrong. It's Darbin.
I'm the incorrect like market for this question. Has there been a human female NPC in this entire campaign of 60 episodes? Yeah, but she's like 70.
Bro, broaden your horizons. Everybody in the show is sexy. Okay, you can't go wrong.
Are you counting elves?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of elves.
There have, but they've all just been like rando elves. You haven't described any of them.
Has Selenea come up at all yet?
Selenea hasn't come up in a while. Oh no, wait. Selenea came up like 4 episodes back when you did the scrying on how you got the earphones.
I imagine she looks like massive fucking like queen anime bitch energy, the evil one that's vaguely sexy. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Maleficent type shit, but with more holes in her clothes.
A Neo type of woman.
Yeah.
Are we still on the most fuckable NPC question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which alligator coming on for this question specifically?
None of you know Klaus yet?
No, Klaus is your type and no one else is.
Nobody else is? Really?
In the call. None of us in the call.
I find that hard to believe.
Klaus never happened.
It might be this
for you. We can't.
Klaus never happened.
I assume like Rita could get it when she was younger, though.
Yeah,
Rita can still get it.
Dude, Rita kind of gives me Gilf vibes. Yeah.
Rita's not that old. She's kind of old. I imagine her in like her low 50s.
Oh, really? I imagined her older than that. Maybe I need to adjust my imagination.
Maybe I should adjust mine because it's your NPC.
Listen, Rita's on thin flipping ice, bro. If she casts guidance on me without casting if asking permission first, like she's out of here. Like it's gone. It's over.
Oh, Rita's about to have a town hall about casting spells without consent.
Right? Fucking baby boy. I'd walk away for 1 minute.
She nearly kills your NPC.
No, but the answer is Booker. Sidro is correct.
Yeah. Oh my God, Booker DeWitt's so.
He's so sweet.
And this one's not an asshole. This one's not
Right.
literally the worst.
He's just supportive as fuck, and he's great.
I'm looking for human females.
They don't have to be human, but like not
don't think you
fucking
can.
animals.
Right. There's the queen. There's Queen Remus.
I'm just saying,
Well-
don't knock it until you try it.
What about the robot girl?
What robot
Jane?
girl? That's
No,
Jane.
not the other
robot girl.
robot girl.
The
Who's
one's
the other
half a
robot girl?
torso.
One whose torso's in your back.
Oh,
Yeah, I-
Susanna Bauer.
Yeah,
I forget her name, but I'm
Natalie. Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to Kaz learning about that.
What about
Absolutely.
Jane's,
Your
Jane's
current real doll.
sister-in-law?
Oh yeah, Jane's sister-in-law. What's her
If
name?
you-
Alex,
Alexander.
right?
Alex. Yeah, Alex is
Yeah.
pretty fuckable.
If y'all-
sister.
If the whole party meets up and Kaz learns that there was a fully functioning torso of another like machine person that he could have inspected, but you like dumped it before he could disassemble it, that's gonna be like the most offensive thing you've done.
All right. Kaz, for free, you're aware of Emmerich soldiers. You know that if you wanted to go kill a robot person, you could go west of Patakak and kill a robot person.
Right, but like I was understanding that Emmerich soldiers are, some of them are like androids or even automatons, but not like that advanced, like that they're passing as a human, like Suzanne.
I see. I understand what
Like,
you're saying.
Kaz met Suzanne Bauer in person. I did a job for her, and
Right.
I want to know what makes her tick.
Fair.
Literally.
Why? This one's for the storyteller, for the DM.
I'm still
Why
looking
no-
for fuckable NPCs.
Why no
That's
bunnies?
anyway.
Where's the
Why no
bunny?
bunny?
My
You have Hung
Francis'
Hung
best
Manuel.
friend is a-
Yeah, on the school
Yeah,
is a
show.
rabbit.
There's Hung Nine Yol. I
that's-
think there's one other. Hang on.
There's
Hong
bunny
Nanyol-
twins.
Yeah, Hong Nanyol's twin.
Well, besides Hung and his sister, whose name I definitely remember.
I don't believe I've met them.
I
Yeah,
don't think you have. Yeah.
Dancer rabbit. We totally.
Zera. Hung and Zera.
I'd fuck Branch's mom.
Branch's
Oh, yeah,
mom
what a
is
good
delightful.
choice.
Is that just to say you fucked Branch's mom?
Probably
Yeah.
his dad
True.
too.
Oh, I'm going after Booker if you do that.
I'm already on it.
Me too.
I don't know if this counts. I feel like Narafi.
I'd count it.
Oh,
Yeah, Narafi absolutely one of the hottest NPCs. You know what? Yeah. Actually, I do find Hong very hot.
Yeah, Hong is
That might be an
delightful.
answer. He's great.
Now, if Narafi had any sort of emotional intelligence, it might be nice.
Everyone in everyone in Branch's storyline is hot and wonderful except for Branch, and probably the old guy who blew up the church. Whatever the
Wait.
fuck.
What was the name of the half orc crossdresser at the brothel? What was that guy's name?
Bobby Boy.
Bobby Boy.
Oh my god, I'm so glad you brought him up. I have a token for him which has just not come up yet.
Because we haven't been in
Wild.
Belvedere for like
I
5
know.
months.
He works at the Haberdasher now, and he's like standing up in front of it.
Oh,
Hang
Oh,
on,
that's
hang on. Look at it. If you're in Founder,
Or dashing lad.
I've completely
there he
forgotten
is.
what voice I gave him. So if we go, I don't know. I have to review if he comes back.
Voice is important. Yeah.
Just say, "Hey, old Bobby boy," in your own way. I'm Bobby boy.
I'm Bobby Boy. I'm Bobby Boy. His name is
I'm
Bobby,
Bobby
but he
Boy.
just call him
Boy.
Boy a lot. I'm Bobby Boy. Like Kratos, fucking God of War.
Where
I'm
have you
Bobby
posted
Boy.
this image? I cannot find.
I'm about to post it on Twitch, and I'll throw it in Discord as well.
Well,
Or
I
on
know,
Telegram.
now I know I'm never going to the Haberdash.
I
That's where
will
you
make
get cool
time.
clothes.
Even if it's not myself, I will make time to come in and voice Bobby Boy if I have to. Just let me know.
I think the real answer to this is Mlema from early Fetch Story.
True.
boy.
She's got one arm now.
She
I
does
have
have one
one.
arm now, which is
Mlema.
the hottest thing that a woman can have.
Wild take.
What?
Which is the hottest
He
gold
needs at
movie?
least one.
Which
Oh,
one?
Amar is up there
Never
for
have
sure,
to
though.
use two hands on you.
If I can just get like Mlema and Amar, then I'm set.
Wait,
True.
Wait, hold on.
Hey,
No, don't
Amar
revoke
is a good
that
pick.
word. That filthy word. Don't say it
Mlema?
anymore. Amar.
Oh,
He's not that cool. You're all
he is
wrong.
hot. Yeah.
However,
By the way,
Narafi's
way,
mom's got it going on. Let me tell you.
My mom. I mean, Adam's
Yeah,
mom
just
or
kill
the Rafi's
like
mom?
you've got a harem of men.
Oh,
What do you
yeah, yeah.
mean? She just straight up slays people random. Like, who is this
Oh,
this,
Narafi's mom.
ancient goddess that's going on? Like, this is fairy tale nonsense and it's scary.
If you've
And I
seen
feel like it
Arcane,
works.
Ambessa is who she's based on.
Awesome.
Yeah, that tracks.
Like, actual
Branch,
warrior queen.
Branch knows Malema, right? Because they're both one arm. They know each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a question here for Jaeger that does say, why is Ruko less cooler than his brother? And when will he start to be cool?
He'll never
I can answer
meet
that.
up to expectation. Oh yeah, please do.
Whenever you have an older brother in a storyline that you give to the DM, they will always be cooler than you. That's the rule. It's a law of
$1,000,000%.
physics.
That is not true of Rickon.
Go ahead, Ruko.
It was true when they were young.
Is Branch's sister cooler than him?
I've got your exception. I've got your exception right here, Biscuit.
I can counter that. They may have been older than you, but they were your little brother. Okay, by the time you met them. Okay, it's a trope thing, not an age.
Oh, I also lied straight to your face. Thackeray's older than Rickon. Damn it.
Slander. Absolute slander.
Really?
Yeah.
When are you going to sue
Actually,
Severance
this
for
ruins
stealing that
everything.
name?
It's okay. They spell it different. I am going to sue them for making everybody hate the name Rickon, but I have to hit your team by the end of the show.
Oh no.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Are you piling up your fuckable NPCs?
Yeah. So those four. I want all four of those in my bedroom tonight. It's Amar, Malema, and both of Fetch and Sketch's parents.
Lucky you. They're all you. So
So you got this. You got the selfishness going on.
Just
You know,
write
you
their
could just do
names
that
on your
thing.
hand.
Oh,
You just
Dreamus is
imagine it, and
also.
it's all canon, and that's like an extra little plus to your whatever stat you're using for this nonsense.
Dreamus is also pointing out that Yoki is younger than Kohaku, and he is way cooler than Kohaku.
True.
But they're the okay. Maybe it's not an age thing, but it's a thing.
Yeah, this is
I think
moving
it's just
the
if you-
goalpost.
I think it's
The
just if you give the
goalpost is
DM a
gone.
sibling, they'll make them cooler, unless they're like a child.
They'll either be
No,
way
it's up to
cooler than
you.
you, or you'll be way cooler than them.
I really want to read into the
Yeah.
actual
Sketch is gonna be the cool
situation to
twin.
figure out if this is like I'm a middle kid, and I think that gives me problems. I'm not sure how that works for other people.
Yeah. Also,
Mid-
Neo, that ship has sailed. Sorry.
Sketch
No.
already is the cool twin.
Aw.
Yeah,
Actually, that's a
Sketch.
good question for me. Was there a question for me that we've gone over?
There's a question here for Fetch from the last spreadsheet that never got answered, which is
Oh.
what makes you such a genius player and talented actor?
That sounds like something he put in there by himself. But
Well,
You asked this question?
I've been playing for a long time. I have a, and there's, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of talent involved. It's not all, something you can learn.
A lot of gifts from God, spiritual gifts.
Yeah, something like that. And my life has been long, mostly just long.
Yeah, you are very old, right?
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I'm real tired, guys.
Branch, after seeing the Falcon Word, so you wondered if surviving the execution was the best result. How have Branch's experience since that moment affected his feelings about the outcome?
Oh, that's the at the moment. He is currently seeing himself as this fucking this is selfish, but of him, but this like fucking bringer of bad luck wherever he goes. Most of some of it being his fault, but the fact that
Samesies.
the fact that the current arc is once again hijacking a ship at the cost of a lot of other people, and earlier in the campaign the same like there's this weird situation where like every major character moment from Branch has kind of led back to the one mistake that he did that fucking caused his arm to get cut off.
Maybe
And
he shouldn't have fucked up.
maybe he shouldn't have fucked up. Yeah, he should have been better. And maybe what's gonna be different this time is that he doesn't fuck up. But like, is the fucking is anything he's doing ethical, even though he tries to at least like see himself as it? Probably not. And the I don't know how to answer questions. Sorry, guys. No, I think there's something very interesting going on with the fact that Branch seems to like be in a fucking endless cycle of constantly fucking up and having other people pay for it, and he does not like that. And if the boat stealing and Lateon thing goes wrong, he's gonna like be like, oh, this is my fault again. Maybe the execution should have happened. Because there's always that, as like anyone with a horrible religious upbringing probably there's always the little bit of like guilt of like, oh, maybe fucking God did want this for me. maybe I should have been executed at that plinth, right? And I think there's cool things going on with that. I think it's neat. A bit dark, but yeah.
Oh man.
Go ahead.
If Ruko was to speak, he would say that he thinks the fact that you did live, and if God is truly omnipotent and all-powerful, he lets you live, and now this is your chance to spite him.
That there's no such thing as miracle. That was a miracle. That was pure chance.
There's another question in here for Branch, which says, "What are you even doing?"
I don't know, man. It's just every day I wake up and it feels like the light that's just getting a little farther, and like I'm so tired all the time. And
Go dancing.
oh, okay.
Come to the club.
Was that the one from Not Biscuit, from Everyone But Biscuit?
That was not from Biscuit.
That was
Certainly it
not
from somebody besides
Biscuit.
Biscuit.
No, it's from Everyone But Biscuit.
Right.
Yeah.
We're all wondering this except Biscuit.
I'm glad you are. I'm glad you're keeping up with me.
Guys, how do you know when it's appropriate for jokes and to give input? Where there's some really heavy and serious moments in our campaigns and some get playful remarks and others don't. How do you know when you should just, sit back and listen, or when it's an appropriate time to jump in?
I think some of them don't know when to shut up.
Probably true.
It is tough. I think a really important factor is your joke going to derail something that is not finished yet? And
No.
yeah,
The greatest answer is to interrupt and interject with your stupid, dumb thought of a joke whenever it comes up, and then worry about it until the end of the session. And then when we're off stream, you go, "Hey guys, sorry for making stupid jokes all the time."
It will
I'm
happen
sorry."
again.
Yeah, like you apologize for it, but you never change your behavior. And then in the DM roundtable, when everybody's saying what they like about you, you just get labeled as the funny guy. And
And it's important too that if somebody does this, like after the game apologizes, that you say like, "Oh no, man, it's not that big of a deal. We're all just having fun here." But you do have to hold that resentment in your heart for a long time and let it sort of flavor the way you think about that person, both in terms of a D&D player and also in terms of as a person.
because if my ever-present stupid sense of humor actually does bother you or ruin a moment, if you tell me that, it's just going to make me feel bad and worse, and you should spare my feelings.
But
over
now,
it.
Yeah, for sure. Keep the resentment in your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do a joke real quick. Check this out.
Wow, classic.
See,
where'd you get this? Why don't A, two questions. Where did you get the satisfactory noise? And B, why don't I have the soundboard muted?
I use it responsibly.
No.
I did.
Can we repeat the question? What was this?
Yes, the question is, when is it appropriate to make a joke, to do a bit? How do you know when it's appropriate to make a funny bit without like disrupting something serious going on?
Boy,
Also,
this
I'll
is why you
interject
don't
that-
know Ruko.
I'll interject that it maybe doesn't even like a joke. It also just like giving input. When do you like give the space for other people to have a scene, whether it's or then when do you like jump in with input, whether that's a joke or like I don't know, other commentary.
I think there's a 2-factor scale here, right? One on the end of the axis is you have something very short, very brief, and it is generally okay to just kind of like toss that in if it would be funny. Just like the very quick hit comic relief. But if your bit is going to derail things, you need to be absolutely certain that the current scene is like concluded, that everybody's happy. And I usually wait for things to get a little bit into that awkward silence, and then I start the bit.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm the master of this. If it's during, listen,
I'm so good.
If it's during an emotional scene, you can't do it, but you should do it at the end of emotional scene because you need a bounce back.
Yes.
True.
To tell you that the emotional scene is over.
Absolutely
And
true.
then, and then if there's if it's a goofing sesh where everybody's kind of goofing, that's a good place to do it. And then usually what you'll see is in a lot of campaigns that are really fun and interesting, you'll see like goofings, action, serious, comic relief, goofing, action, serious, comic relief, like a cycle.
I agree.
I
But
feel like I have the opposite problem where I make things too serious too often, or try to be too fucking dour all the time.
I think this is literally the point of you playing this game, though. It's like it introduces this element. It gives things to talk about, things to investigate, character problems to resolve. Like this is part of playing the game.
But you don't want to butt two
You don't wanna-
serious scenes against each other. If they're longer, if they're shorter, that's fine. But you know what I mean. You need that because it all has to do with brain chemistry, right?
Variety.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
you
you
don't
need
wanna
the
do,
up
like,
and down.
12 episodes of completely depressing content that
Right.
goes nowhere. If it goes nowhere, I will never love any of you again. That's the problem. There are some shows in this world, like BoJack Horseman, that I will never forgive.
Some of
Permanently damaging my mental health.
Some of my favorite moments in gaming have been the opposite. You know, you have a serious scene and you have comic relief at the end. Some of my favorite scenes start off goof and go into serious from a goof. And that happens more often than you
Hell
think.
yes.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
And to put it out there, Branch, I think Branch does some fun, dumb shit. It's just fun, dumb shit. Like you go like the whole escapade out in Del Muerzo where you're just running away from guys and you fucking rolling like a god. You're like, God damn it. He keeps getting away with this shit. Like it's fun. There's variety there. There's some deep shit. And then there's some like impulsive whimsy that happens.
I agree.
So there's a mix.
Okay.
And personally, I'll admit, I don't fucking know the answer to this question. That's why I kind of get a little stuck, and I get really entertained by everybody talking, and then I fall asleep, and then I can't talk anymore because I've talked none this whole time.
You're
But
allowed to just come
I
in.
promise you, I'm very much enjoying everything that I'm sitting here through. And at some point, I'm so happy. I'm just like lulled into a state of, oh, stories are happening. Ah, interesting.
Time to
And then
sleep.
If
suddenly
somebody
I'm
isn't
dreaming, and I'm
conscious,
like,
it's
well,
because
fuck.
they hate you and aren't enjoying their time.
Yeah, and also I hate you guys so much. I just
Just
can't stay awake.
really bored.
Nonsense.
Wow.
Yeah.
True facts.
Pookie, I'm right here.
I know.
It was a call out.
One thing that I've noticed that I'm like bad about and I'm trying to be better about like deliberately these days is like not really, I don't know if sometimes I interject silly goof dildo comments, but I do try to wait in a serious moment or whatever. But I do find that I like, if there's like a really emotional moment going on between two other characters in the scene, I feel a really intense need to queue up and be like, "Aw," or like like react to the emotions of the scene. And sometimes I feel like you need to just like let it breathe and not like, I don't know, like let the moment happen without instantaneously reacting to it.
I have that where I feel like I sometimes laugh at things that weren't meant to be funny, which is a horrible feeling.
I tend to be
fucking everything. So
I tend to be a very like silent consumer. Like I do not react when I'm listening to something. I sit there like a stone statue, just like fully focused on it.
No, definitely with anything but D&D, me too. But sometimes when we're playing D&D, if like I don't know,
Just want to encourage the
Shayla and
people.
Foster
right?
are having a cute scene. I'm like, oh, that's so cute. But I should just shut the fuck up and let them have the scene.
I always have the like, Everyone has a praise kink, I guess. Like the fucking like serotonin that you get from having someone laugh at your joke is probably the same as the serotonin you get when someone like goes on when you were trying to be sentimental. You know?
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
seeing people compliment my D&D playing abilities.
And also,
It's nice.
I think it's nice when you're not interrupting a deep, heartfelt scene, but when something absolutely stabs you in the goddamn heart as a player group, it is kind of nice to you want to express at least just an expression of ouch. That's so fucking
Yeah.
cute, or
Yeah.
like aw, like it's good to have a little bit of ambiance. What do you
It
call
just
that?
kind of
Audience
shows
reaction a little
that
bit.
it's like
Yeah.
engagement. It's like
That
you
we're
know
all
that
still
the rest of
here.
the
We're
party
all
is
still
actually
playing a
paying
game.
attention.
One
Yeah.
of my
Totally,
favorite.
totally disagree with both of you guys. You gotta, like
That's what
you
you
should
just
you should
said.
wait. You should wait until after the scene is over and then be like,
No.
"Oh, that was really sweet." Don't do it during the scene.
Well,
Don't do it
yeah,
during the
well,
scene. That's my opinion.
yes,
There was
Just
a
let the scene breathe first, and then afterwards react to it.
And see, I'm
Yeah,
totally in the
yeah.
opposite boat because anytime I'm like watching or playing anything or watching anybody play anything, like I will queue up just to go like, oh my god.
Oh, I do too. I'm terrible about
And
it.
that's probably
God.
super obnoxious to
Yeah.
some people that are in the voice call with me, but I like to show that like I'm actively paying attention to it.
Well, that's the thing is that it has to have a weight to it. You can feel the weight going into it, and when there's this heavy weight of oh shit, this is serious. Like I will stay muted, and I will say oh by myself. But if it's like a little cute thing, you can feel the weight of a situation to deliver the audience reactions. But
When
I
I
feel
got
like there's a tendency to just be silent through everything and give no reactions whatsoever for some people, little bitches like me.
If I'm doing a scene, I don't want anybody reacting.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
well,
sorry. I will
It's
not.
okay.
because your scenes are heavy tax.
Well, yeah, exactly.
We'll never talk again.
Thanks.
Never speak in text.
Wow.
Right, Trey had a good interjection early on for me when I wanted to burn all the bridges, and he gave me an attaboy, and I got a little half there.
That's
No
how I
likes or
feel when he does
dislikes.
that to me too.
Yeah,
That's what I
Where-
love.
but
Zero engagement.
Zero
Yeah.
engagement. Why
We
do we
can
stream?
engage afterwards. It's just that I don't. I'm a little bitch boy, and I don't like talking if I'm being like talked over.
Yeah, I,
Oh,
I get
yeah.
that. Like if it's a big interjection that feels like it's an interruption, but like when someone queues up just to like gasp or laugh or go like, "Oh my god," it
Yeah,
kind of
right.
it kind of pumps my ego a little bit. It feels like I'm doing like a live performance and I've got an
Right.
audience going like, "Oh,
Yeah,
he
and
said
to-
what?"
You see, that's a
Yeah.
problem for me. Is that then I feel like I have a live audience, and I
Oh,
have to,
Well,
and I get anxiety.
That's fair.
okay. I think a good way to think about it is if we're playing tabletop as a group around the table, like realistically, people would be like, they're listening. They're an engaged audience. We're all here at the same time to play the same game, but there's a one-on-one engagement happening. There's a conversation. There's some deep shit going on, and it might be cute as fuck. It might be shocking. And, like you stay quiet. You don't interject. But
Right.
like it is kind of nice to hear those subtle like. Oh
Right.
shit! Like,
Okay,
like you
little
kind of get this
expressions,
cue
little
from
gasps.
someone like, "Oh, they're gonna be interested in this later." Okay, interesting. But we're focusing on the scene right now.
Yeah.
You know,
I
like,
think it's
but you
just
have to understand
fully
that
engaged, just kind of keeping the
play-
crowd engaged.
I play online though to avoid all of that though.
Right.
Explicitly.
I know. God.
Same with
Well,
Trey. I
That's
don't know
great
if I
on
could
stage.
handle playing in person.
I think that like 9 of us are sitting here trying to discuss the balance between showing engagement and showing respect. And then Drake is over in the corner saying, "Do not perceive me at all."
Yeah, honestly, that's how I feel sometimes too. That's
100%.
another bonus for me for like playing online is that sometimes I can just like kind of listen, let everybody else play, and just like
Right.
Speaking of Philo playing online, was Kaz originally planned to be a gunslinger before the bad dice luck of a certain pirate PC? Should you guys like that
no,
segue?
he was not. I looked into the gunslinging class in PF2, and I was genuinely curious about it, but I wanted to. And it's mostly because Kaz like the creation and conception of Kaz was like I want to play another like nullish piratey character, but I want him to be different than Philo. So like I was looking at like a melee more focused class even before I saw what happened to Drake trying out a gunslinger. And I would still like to try out a gunslinger at some point, or like the sniper subclass or what. Like they still seem fun to me, and I feel like I could probably just like roll better dice than Drake. So I might play one sometime.
Just don't do Drifter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
agree with that.
Go sniper.
Sniper. Like I actually built like a level 20 character sheet, just like to see what it looked like, for like a conceptual like Philo in PF2 as like a PF2 gunslinger, and I got a little hard thinking about it. But no, Kaz was going to be a melee guy from the beginning. I really like the idea of a swashbuckler, and it's entirely coincidental that Sniper and I both made like very similar sort of like, at least in like flavor, like
Spanish swashbucklers.
yeah, Spanish swashbuckler. Like they have very similar attitudes. They've got different subclasses and very different like backgrounds though. And I like how that worked out.
You're a fencer, right? You're straight up the fucking you're the suave type, and Branch is the all you're the suave. I know I have the situation under control at all times, and Branch is the I'll figure it out as I go.
Yeah,
type.
it's like they had. I feel like at the beginning of the campaign, especially, it seemed that they were very very similar sort of characters, just because of like the flavor of them. But I feel like we've both kind of played up, and we've played up and like developed their character and their attitude kind of around the subclass we picked. Like,
and they were
like Kaz is the fencer, so like his, he's like a trained bullfighter. He's very graceful in all of his movements. It's all practiced and everything. And Branch just fucking wings it, and I love that about him.
One is offensive and one is offensive.
We were also originally going to be pirate buddies until my bad luck, and then Vec was like, "Hey, you should just be a cat," and I was like, "Okay."
Like I was originally planning on making my character to like kind of build along with Drates, and then he hit me with like "Nah, sorry, I'm not going to be a pirate anymore. I'm going to be a cat." And then I was like, "Oh, okay. I won't have any emotional ties to anybody going into this campaign."
I don't think anyone did, except for Fetch and Sketch and Ruko. And
yeah, like a couple of characters like already kind of knew each other, but like
Drake
like
and I.
Yeah.
He did that just to consume that connection and feed off the power of its destruction.
Yeah, I really wanted to plan a character for a campaign to kind of work alongside my boyfriend, but he said, "Fuck you, I'm playing a cat."
Got him.
I didn't even tell you "fuck you." I think I just didn't follow up with you, and you didn't follow up with me, and I was just like, "Well, I'm a cat now."
Fucking bottoms! I swear to Christ.
Fucking bottoms.
Bottoms. This is what
just communicate. Just talk.
Nah.
And there was definitely following up. Like I remember a moment when you were like, we were planning out like pre-campaign, and you were designing Brig and everything still. And I'm glad that you still have him as like just like an established character for porn and stuff. But maybe I should talk about that on Twitch. But no, you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna make this guy," and then there was a point where you're like, "Here's this character that I'm gonna be now instead," and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Speaking of Drake telling everyone to go the fuck themselves, this question's for Drake and me and Sidro and Luge, but he is not here. May he rest in peace. What goes into playing controversial characters with loose morals and abrasive attitudes? How do you stay committed to it? And how do you keep it balanced so it stays fun for everyone?
Oh, I don't care about other people's fun. That's kind of the problem with Tex currently.
Because I hate everyone. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't know you were done.
Just having loose morals and abrasion.
That's it.
Yep.
You guys' answers to that were so fast. I didn't have a chance to think about mine.
No,
you both just like, watch you fuck everybody. So
I have very limited experience actually playing D&D, but all the soft baby fucking let's not make things interesting DMs I had were like, never do inter-party conflict. That's always bad. Never have a character that doesn't play well with the other characters. And I'm like, that's stupid. If everyone plays like D&D like that, that's stupid. So I was like, sure, I'll be the and in fact was like, no, you can be as abrasive as you want. I was like, okay.
Well, I
think you're former DM probably came from a place of trauma there, because it is like
Mm.
it's really easy to do wrong and to like actually be disruptive as a player at the
Correct.
table and actually like be a nightmare to play with.
Right.
And
And
all
I
this-
do have to
wrestling
defend my out here a little
analogy.
bit. My answer to that was essentially to show the results of the session 0 we did, where I pointed out that people are okay with certain kinds of inter-party conflict, but they didn't want a party member that was like too much of a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about wrestling, right, you got the good guys and you have the heels. Pro wrestling, any fans out there?
Yeah,
The
they
heels and the good guys talk about how they're going to conflict ahead of time, and then they conflict, and then they get beers after.
no.
Right.
Well, hold on. Are you implying that wrestling is scripted?
No, that couldn't be it.
What?
Here.
I think
actually,
the,
this could
like-
be- Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, not WWE, obviously.
No,
but-
no, definitely not.
I'm curious about if I do handle it well. Then I want to hear from other people.
This
about
No,
that.
I think
is
you do.
what
Like,
I'm getting at. Yes, and Zeke, please speak first because I'm about to rant.
okay, no, you're fine. I might too. No, I think you do a fantastic job of it, Branch / Hydro. Like,
Uh-huh.
and I think the line is kind of fuzzy between where it's like disruptive and where it's fun, but the line is somewhere between like, is the way your character butts heads with the other characters something that actually affects like their ability to progress their stories? Are you actively like trying to counter the things that they're trying to do? Are you actually like trying to derail their success? Or are you just like disagreeing with them and like butting heads and having, tense role play moments with them? But at the end of the day, like not actively fucking up their fun or fucking up their character's
Right.
progress or story.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think
I-
Branch has ever attacked any of the other party members or
Yeah.
like sabotaged. So,
Right. Yeah, it
Right.
gets unfun when you use your character like, oh, I'm just trying to be in character, and use that to like literally make the other players at the table have a worse time.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a very
Like
important line that I feel like you've done very well to stay like on the right side of. I mentioned it in chat earlier, like before I actually jumped in voice, but my favorite thing about you, or at least like Branch as a character in this campaign, has been like you've played such like an abrasive but like empathetic underdog sort of character so well that I think you've successfully radicalized at least 2 other people in this campaign already. Like 2 other characters, and that's great. Like every time Branch
Robot.
Branch like butts in with something or butts heads or like I feel like there's conflict, but it's not like the sort of conflict that would make it like it doesn't detract from my experience as a player, but it's also the sort of like little bit of argument, short conflict, butting heads that like actual people interacting with each other would have to deal with, but then they come to terms with it and like they grow from it. And that's a very
Yeah.
important sort of role that you've played many times already in this campaign.
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah. And
I think especially with a party this big, like a group is going to feel disingenuous and kind of fake and false if like everyone just agrees constantly and gets along with each other and there's never any
Yeah.
inter-party conflict. You have to have that to keep it feeling like
Yeah.
real and also human. And I think it also helps our format here where we like split into separate little parties where like, if Jane and Branch aren't getting along right now, they just literally split up and go their separate ways for a month,
Yeah.
I think
You were
that
saying
does help
something,
with that.
Jaeger?
Yes, I'm always saying things.
Go
Yes,
on.
all right.
But no, actually, yes. I think the fun thing about Branch as a character, and what's surprising too, as a new player, and plus I'll admit I'll be a new player. I played one other campaign. It was like a first time DM. It's kind of fresh player here, but with Branch coming in here, we don't know what to expect. It's all crazy, and then you come in with this like dangerous character. He's gonna be abrasive. He's gonna be aggressive. And now what a whole lot of other players will do is they'll show up at a random D&D game and be abrasive and evil to the other players. Like, oh, I'm a bad character. I'm gonna make this player in real life feel bad because I'm a bad guy. But no, what you're doing it right. And it's frustrating in a good way because we're frustrated in game. You're playing your character who has a baseline set of issues that he's working through, and he's got some like problems with those issues and how he treats other people, but you're playing as the character. Like that is it's also it seems changeable too. He's not like a permanent problem child. It seems like he's coming out of some shit and he needs to work through it, and he's got some growing pains and he's got some things that he's pissed off at, and it feels believable and it all feels in character. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that's the crucial point there, is that you're playing the game. You're playing
Mhm.
as your character in the game.
Yeah.
And
And
that's like, you can be really, really irritating to some characters because they're like, oh, but I believe in the holy order of the sun god and blah blah blah. And you're like, well, that shit's bullshit. You know, you
And,
can piss
you
it
know-
off that way. It works. It's
Yeah,
like
and-
it's interesting. It's fun.
yeah, and you can do like you could start getting better, but a well-written character regresses, right?
For a little bit.
You
Everybody
can't.
has
Yeah,
balance.
every-
Character
everyone
development
goes.
isn't a
Yeah.
straight slope.
Yeah. Sometimes you regress, and sometimes you remember and you go forward. It's like it's not an easy. It's not an easy thing getting better
Yeah.
from what you are.
But not
I-
just to embarrass
Breaking
yourself
habits.
more as a player with more personal compliments on stream as everybody else listens. That's something you've done very well. Like, all of our characters obviously have their own sort of like personal baggage they're dealing with, but I feel like a lot of us, whether as the character we're playing or just like the player we are, like don't want to like make our problems everybody else's problems. And I'm not saying Branch does either. Like, he's not like a oh, woe is me sort of character, but he does a very he and you have done a very good job of like providing like a different point of view than a lot of the characters have on their own, I think. And it's like, it's been really good.
Okay.
Some of the cards.
I stepped away for a second, but did we already talk about the difference between like verbal disagreement versus action disagreement and how that can be a big
Yeah.
role?
Not yet.
It's kind of what we started with. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's like
One
if your
second.
character's actions are like interfering with
Yeah,
other
yeah.
people's stories versus just like arguing. I
Right,
think
right.
that, yeah, I think basically what like
Right.
Jaeger was saying, where it's like, if it's cool, like me, like Jane and Branch can be pissed at each other and, you know, hate what each other are doing, but then I can like take my head above water and say to Sidra, like, hey man, this is fucking cool as hell. Like, I love playing
Yeah.
D&D with you. And I think part of that is just like communication. I'd like to answer the question at hand. How do you do this so it's balanced and stays fun for everyone? You got to talk to their player and be like, hey man, is this okay? Like, am I overstepping here? You know, make sure that everyone's having a good time. But like, you know, I can speak for me and Sidra that we both said to each other, like, this is fun as hell, man. I love that we're doing this this way. So
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Something
It's
Biscuit is very
adding-
good at as a DM too. Is anytime there's like a conflict about to start, he will pause momentarily and say, "Hey, you two, figure out how far it's okay to take this, and then we'll pick the game back up." And I think that's very smart.
It's usually a good idea to have a signal, like a lot of people use red flag, green flag, yellow flags, something like that, or some kind of signal to shut down an interaction if it is going badly that both players agree to at a time. Signal, like a shutdown signal, kind of like
God damn
would
it.
work.
God.
It was so
Biscuit-
loud.
Someone ban that.
We banned this
As
guy.
access.
If you ban me, I will cry.
Just turn the soundboard down.
No,
to
ban his
2%.
soundboards.
So we were talking about disruptive players that do shit that pisses the other people off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No more
I think
compliments
what
for me.
point-
Oh wait, sorry. Jaeger, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, fuck you. You're getting more compliments.
God
Anyways,
damn it.
you play your character like you should, and that's
Okay.
great. It means you play your character, and you combat with other characters and not other players, which is very special because a lot of D&D players will be like, I'm just a bad bitch. I'm gonna make this other person's life terrible in real life because I'm that bad of a character. Ha ha ha. No, fuck you, dude. You just suck. Like, don't do that.
Yeah,
You don't do
I've had-
that. You actually
had
play
those
it.
Slash your
players at my
tires
table.
because my character hates
Yeah,
yours.
like-
Yeah, honestly, if you're worried about it, spend a couple hours reading D&D horror stories on Reddit, and it'll tell you
Yeah.
not to.
yeah. Yeah.
I
Alright.
think we'll quickly learn
So-
that, like, if we actually hated anything you did, you probably just wouldn't be in the group anymore.
True. After 60 episodes, I think we're solid.
Yeah,
I think we're good. I think we're cool.
I think you like me, maybe.
But also keep
possibly.
feeling uncomfortable because this is kind of fun for me. You know.
A little bit of apprehension is good for, like, your self-esteem.
Yeah.
Stay
just,
humble
you
and
know.
all that.
Yeah, like just be aware of like people.
What's that,
and
Ray?
whatnot.
just for staying humble.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
should
this
know
is
that
like-
we like and accept you, but like you're nobody's favorite.
Oh my god.
You know,
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, that was mean.
I know I'm not a standout person or anything.
speaking of people that aren't anyone's favorite, this question's for
Yeah.
Frisk.
Hmm.
Wait, I have
Frisk,
yeah.
why are you not playing with the cool kids at Spirit and Salt? Your father
I
viewer
want
misses you there.
to.
And I'll answer this is because I don't like Frisk and don't want him at my table. Next question. I'm just kidding. I love Frisk with all my heart. It's just the campaign was full. There were too many people. I had to kick people out of this campaign to make room for other people. So
I
Simply
don't
full.
know why this question wasn't asked of me as well,
Biscuit also not welcome at my table.
or why I
don't know
didn't
this
get an
wasn't asked of
invitation.
me.
You guys can.
I guess
You guys.
nobody
Can, I will
cares
have.
about how I play an evil character.
Zeke had me on for
I
a
do-
temporary
I-
character one
I
time,
was
and
about
he
to-
hated me so much that he didn't even invite me back to like play him or act him out when he reappeared later in the series.
I straight up did. Straight
you?
up invited you. I think. I'm not going to
I don't-
swear to that. I think I
don't
did.
think you did.
Let me say, everyone in this chat is like would be welcome with open arms to like guest star in a session of Spirit and Salt at some point once we get the campaign established.
Oh yeah, we need
Except Frisk,
less
I'm not having
people. That'd be
Oh, I
And,
like.
I'm sorry, I did
completely
prevent you from
cog-
answering the question, Tex. What do you want to say
It's
about
fine.
playing an evil character?
You know.
I thought you were
just-
serious when you started out by just saying you just hated everyone.
Well, that is semi-true, but I go into it with the hope and understanding that everybody here understands that I'm not going to literally kill somebody's character's mom. Like, I'm playing Tex as fairly morally gray, and by morally gray I mean evil in a lot of ways.
So-
but I'm not actually going to like go and sabotage somebody else's storyline, right? Like.
That means he's savable.
There is a difference between like fun, antagonistic, and evil versus like actually disruptive and destructive.
So you're saying.
And I also go into it with the hope that if I do cross the line, people will tell me.
And you remember that time you tried to kill my mom?
It wasn't your actual mom.
You didn't know that.
I sure did know that. There is no way that if it was actually your mom, Feck would have introduced
I don't
that
know.
combat the way that he did.
I know I'm joking.
Also, everything in that encounter was healing so fine. There was at no point was that attack going to kill them.
Trade,
Yeah,
if you
that
ever
was
do anything that like crosses a line for me, I'll never tell you because I'm too conflict averse.
Right. But you'll be able to sense subtle changes in the way that we behave around you.
As we talked about earlier, I will just hold the resentment in my heart.
And I'll especially do that because that's healthy for a relationship.
Yeah.
Same.
You guys are the worst.
This is the worst.
This is
What's-
bad.
One of the reasons I'm not.
No, we're all
invited to
communicating,
Zeke
it's great.
campaigns is I communicate too honestly.
Setting expectations.
I know Frisk is going to show up at my table and start communicating with me honestly about expectations, and I will not have that at my table.
All right, list your characters'
But
fetishes.
they
Everyone
just-
go.
Oh, I don't have any help.
All right, everybody, drop your F list in the chat.
Well, my
Okay,
F
I
list
have-
is very different from all of my characters' F lists.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
jeez.
I'm not because I'm not that
We
good
are-
of an actor.
Reminder that we are on Twitch.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like
means
elaborate on any of them.
It's something that you say to your
Okay.
friends. It's your list of 5 favorite things in the world, and it's always very wholesome. It's a good bonding activity.
Athan is capable of love, but not romantic love.
Physical love is fine too.
It's it's just like you're my buddy, you're my bro, we're close. I would
Filial
die for
love.
you. Yeah, but let's not bang or date or kiss. That's
Aw.
weird.
Well,
Do you
that's where
think
there's an issue.
do you think Athens and Branch have that yet?
I think he loves like Branch enough. Like he's my brother. Like he called you his brother. Like,
Oh,
he put his forehead against yours and called you his brother.
But would they kiss?
I mean, if you want to, it does nothing for me. But if that's something you want, it's fine.
Boy, it sure
He's-
does make things awkward, doesn't it?
They-
This comes from experience, like for me, because I am kind of like a little ass in person. It's like if you like it, I'll get into it. I'm like I match energy more than I seek it myself.
I think Athens and Branch both like provide like a thing that the other really needs. Like not like even like a romantic sense, but yeah, like a brother sense, like a Like, they're both extra family members that the other really desperately need.
Yeah, Asa needed a brother who was like, "Hey, you should do other things aside the fucking thing that people told you to do. You should think about yourself, dude. You've been doing this for a while." And Evan's like, "Branch, could you chill? Could you chill a little? Could you cut it out?
You're a bit much right now.
You're a bit much right now. Calm down. Let's dance. Let's just have."
Text needs that.
Yeah, so he needs that. Who's? Oh, he's not in a party where there's anyone like that for him currently. It's normally. It's
That's
normally
the
Ruko.
problem. He doesn't have anybody who will just tell him like, "Hey, dude, chill out."
Yeah, Foster was there, but he's not. We took all the chill people. Well, no, Sketch is
Branch
chill.
needed them all.
I can see Sketch doing it, yeah.
Yeah,
Sketch
he's
is a little bit.
little.
Yeah, Sketch is more like being sassy at him. I like his new. I am big confident now. I am growing. I need to differentiate myself from my twin, and it's coming off as like I regret my twin.
Did Zeke and Droid ever answer the evil question? I'm actually curious about both of those, by the way.
Wait, what?
Did you ever answer how do you handle playing a controversial character? I am curious about.
Kind of. I mean, I guess I did it more in like a broad sense of how to do that in general.
Oh yeah.
With Jane, I like Jane like it's very much a object of like necessity for her. Like she doesn't know how to engage in combat. She straight up just can't do it. So she knows that she can't do what she wants to do by herself. So she has to ingratiate herself to other people to like get her mission accomplished, I suppose. And like, you know, she at a practical sense just knows that she needs other people. So she has to keep other people around. You know? And also,
That's actually-
like, you know, that's the place where she started, and also being with like Ruko and Foster has sort of softened that a little bit, where maybe she is actually interested in like having real relationships with some of the people in this party, and like does feel real serious empathy for like Sketch and Fetch and their situation and trying to get their mom back. Like, you know, motherhood is driving everything behind the engine of her story, so she has a lot of empathy for them and feels like, you know, a little helpless in the fact that she like can't, in her own view, do anything for them. But I don't know yet. As far as playing her as like standoffish and abrasive and controversial, it's like, you know, try to focus on her just wanting to accomplish her goals and, you know, use everybody else to her benefit as much as she can, but without, you know, derailing anybody or doing anything that is, you know, like we talked about earlier, is, you know, player versus player instead of character versus character.
So all those nights in the workshop meant nothing to you?
I-
Your face off. I built you a gun.
I've been
Imagine-
I
inside
love
you.
Kaz. I love Kaz so much.
No, it's fine. You love me, but you only when you need me.
True. Jane only ever loves anyone when she needs them. That's what
Yeah,
she
as
loves
is
to
true.
get through.
As is true of all
Soothing
friendships and
mother.
relationships, yeah.
What are you gonna say, Droid?
I just really appreciate Zeke's commitment to this bit that there is a Donnie.
There is-
Whatever could you possibly mean?
Yeah.
We're gonna find out that Donnie was Jane's cat.
I'm still my crackpot theory is that that's not Jane. We're not that ain't Jane.
That's increasingly becoming my crackpot theory too, and it would be a surprise to me, for the record, if it was the case. But I'm starting to think maybe it's the case. The fact that we're meeting like more robots that I kind of thought out of character, and I'm guessing Jane probably thought this in character too, that Jane was like a fairly unique construct. There was like a big, you know, there weren't that many of these things around. And then we go into Tesseract and there's fucking like robot sheriffs, and fucking Susanna is also a robot. I'm like, oh, they can just like crank these things out. So like at minimum, probably there's other Janes. They've surely made other Jane bots or you know, similar constructs. And how am I to know that this is the one that is actually me, you know?
Should
We've-
let me know your serial number.
This came up a little bit earlier to Kaz, and I think I can kind of just throw it to the both of you for free. Android, like robotic people have been around for 50 years, ever since the Emmerich brought them over. robotic people that can pass for people and like fully believe themselves to be people or whatever. That is newer. That is rare. That is not something that is commonplace.
Yeah, but
kinda-
it's like, I guess what I mean is like, it's not commonplace certainly, but we met 3 other ones when we went to Tesseract. It's commonplace
Right.
enough for Tesseract
Yeah.
that they could have easily made more Janes.
Correct.
And
Yeah,
then
that's
it undermines my faith in the fact that I'm truly just the Jane bot.
Yeah,
Right, I see what you're
there's
saying.
also like this thing where Susanna Bowers is different from Jane in that Susanna was created from scratch, I believe, and Jane was based
That
on
is
a person.
true, as far as I know.
Supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly. We were
But-
gonna find the real Susanna Bowers in the basement.
Right.
we can at least, and I feel like I'm just talking like fucking theory about Severance or something now at this point. But like
Mhm.
I feel like we know that, or we can at least assume that Tesseract like has Jane's consciousness on like a floppy disk somewhere and
Right.
installed that into this robot. So yeah, there might
Your
be.
Audi is trying to save your son.
He's trying to go back in time. Your
There-
Audi
yeah.
just murdered a man in a cave in
Yeah,
Cold.
yeah.
I could totally get behind the idea of there being just like other Jane bots out there with the same like ideals and consciousness in them,
It would
For sure.
trying
explain.
to accomplish their own goals, whether it's in this timeline or others.
It,
And that's a
it-
scary thought.
And I
This-
feel like there's like there might be I'm spitballing this theory on the fly. I hadn't thought about this before, but I know Feck loves Outer Wild, and I feel like there might be like a weird time travel thing going on where there are like a great number of Janes needed to repeatedly try this time travel thing over and over until one of them like hits. So maybe there's
I
a
wanna-
whole bunch of Janes out there trying to do what Jane's doing.
I so desperately want the session where we see all the other timelines where events in the campaign go differently and we get TPK'd or someone just dies because it's stupid. It'd be so fun to just have the multiverse fucking
Yeah.
session.
By the way, guys, if you're watching this and you want any advice from a bunch of D&D players about how to be a good player for your DM, don't ever bring time travel to your DM. Don't do that. It's so rude. If anyone had presented Jane to me as a DM, I'd be like, I don't know. Like, wild. I don't know why I allowed it.
I feel like it was not. Boy, I don't want to put my foot in my mouth here. I think I came up with a solution that's pretty
Okay,
reasonable
what?
and also pretty like safe.
I can't wait.
But we'll see how that actually goes in practice.
I just realized
Time
something.
travel.
Since we have such a big party, if we TPK, only half of us are dead, and
True.
the other half have to deal with that.
I'm so ready to deal with Jane dying so I can just play Pip again.
That's that.
Same, I'm
You're
just
so
tired to
dead set on that.
Yeah. I've already I don't know what Feck has planned. I know in my heart that Jane's gone one way or another, so either Fetch kills her or she's successful. And then we're back, baby.
Just a small word of advice from someone who made a character with like a planned like death or elimination point in their backstory. Make sure you're actually emotionally prepared for it to happen.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
But I came here to get hurt. I made Jane for the purpose of hurting myself. I made Jane because I, as a human being, was like, I have some anxieties about, time passing and my kids getting older. Maybe I'll make a D&D character about it. And now here I am, ready to be hurt again. And then we can go back to playing a silly little gremlin like Pip. This is how I do
Therapy's
D&D.
so expensive.
Yeah, exactly. So I just fake it, and I just go back. Like, this is my D&D philosophy is like go back and forth from like gremlin to therapy to gremlin to therapy. So when Jane's gone, I'll just go back to some other little Pip.
Is she strong enough to hold Athen up on a chair to hit Branch with?
Oh, she's so strong.
Okay.
She's a ribbit. She's pretty strong. She could probably do
Ribbit.
it. I think
Yeah,
this picture could happen in canon.
I hope it does.
I didn't. I wasn't really like picturing these two drawings as like a coherent scene, but I love it. And now I'm also imagining just like an alternative version of this where it's like the Simpsons meme where Homer's in the bathtub and Bart just breaks the fucking chair over his head.
I'll do that one next. Don't worry.
But Athen is also in the chair.
I'm helping. I'm adding weight.
Hey. More questions.
What's your favorite thing about Cackles?
He's such a silly guy.
He's so funny.
I'm pretty sure I actually saw that question in the form somewhere.
He's fine.
He's played by you.
He's fine.
He
Thanks,
gives
Drake.
you.
I don't want you getting don't get too big of a head over Cackles.
I mean- I don't want to, but he is the mascot.
Oh my god.
I will tell you though, just so you know, you did hallucinate this question. So your head might have already gotten too big.
No, I'm sure it's in there.
I am also sure that it is in here. I know I saw something like this.
Maybe it was in the last spreadsheet. It's not in this one.
Let me link
Banking on selling millions of Cackles plushes.
that
Please,
form
let's
for
keep
me
this
real
going.
quick.
Here we go.
I need this real
Row 16. I'm curious what your guys' opinion in situations are where Philo's just inserting his tiny creature into other people's conversations and things that are happening.
Oh, okay, I'll allow it.
We paraphrase.
I think we kind of already did this
Oh,
question too
I-
about in general versus just with Cackles specifically.
There was an actual like Cackles related question.
Were you just bullshitting this whole time?
Can you say that again, Beck?
Essentially, it was just what do people think about Cackles, and specifically with Cackles like interjecting in the middle of conversations where he's not present.
Also, I swear to God, I did not write this question.
Yeah, I will admit, I have not looked at this form at all.
I
But
just
it,
assumed it was.
no, it is nice to know that people are also concerned about that because like it's another one of those things that I do it as a bit and I think that people think it's funny, but then I worry that it isn't.
It's funny.
Especially like in the sessions where I'm not even playing, but I'm just like listening along in voice and then like I feel an overwhelming need to unmute myself and say something stupid in Cackle's voice. Like you laugh at the time, but is it actually?
It is actually funny, yes.
It's
Yeah,
well,
it's okay.
It's above, it's above 50%.
It can be funny, and it is most of the time. Yeah.
It
Thank you
is
for
funny most of the time. Every once in a while, there's been one or two times where it was just a bit much, but
Philo is paying Drake to only a man him.
90% of the time.
Only a man.
I don't know, sir. That was great, but
It
you
needs
gotta
that.
remember, you're only a man.
You're only a man, sir.
Thanks.
That is one of my favorite historical facts.
I don't even know if it
Sorry?
counts as a fact, but it is definitely my favorite piece of like historical apocrypha.
I don't even know what you're referencing right
What are you
now.
talking about?
There was I don't there was a Roman emperor, I think it was Augustus or something, that paid a guy to stand next to him and say, "Sir, you're only a man," in case his head got too big.
Right. Anytime somebody gave him big compliments, he would like whisper into his ear, "You're only a man. You're only a man."
Which
No, no.
turned into I wonder if they ever fucked. And that was their after.
You're only a man.
that was the greatest sex I've ever had, but you gotta but
You're only a man.
What an interesting fact. I had never heard of anything like that. Believe
so
me when I
good.
say that I have enough imposter syndrome and anxiety to like question my own self-worth as a comedian every time I make a joke in this little campaign.
We got to pay somebody to. You're a god. You're more than a mortal man.
You're more
No,
than a man.
stop it!
I need.
I'm
I
just a
need
normal
two.
man, an innocent man.
I'm just normal
Regular man.
So I think the important thing to remember with comedy is that it's hard and nobody, even professionals, fuck it up. Like,
Comedy's so easy.
I'm so funny.
$16,000.
Chris, what's Athens' eye color?
Alan? Oh, he's like this emerald green kind of.
Okay, thank you. Go on.
But like, if you watch any, if you watch some of the cut content from Dropout, like it was the Game Changer. They did a cut content, and like there's tons of jokes that Sam put in that they cut because they just did not land. Like, it happens.
Yeah, if you're comparing your comedy to what you see on edited television, I have terrible news for you.
No,
need
no,
to
I'm
buy
not.
editors.
I'm comparing my comedy to my own potential, and I'm always falling up short.
What a good attitude.
Speaking of terrible news, is Ghost's belly hard or soft?
I'm not answering this.
Okay, next question.
Yeah,
How am I
fully,
supposed to attack him when I
fully-
play the Hollow Knight?
fully like the last 25% of our questions are horny, so we really gotta rein it in.
Yeah.
Well,
We have some good ones.
Lucius not here for this baby boy question.
Can we answer for him?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, we started with who's the most effable. So, like, I don't know. We're already there.
That's fair, but I feel like there's a lot of grass between like who's the most fuckable NPC and like what would you do with this NPC in bed?
Okay, fresh question.
I'd call him a man.
Off the dome. Who's the most fuckable party member?
Kaz.
Jane.
Nobody say
Kaz.
Tech.
Kaz.
It's Kaz.
It's Kaz.
Well, thanks.
That is
Really,
so
really-
tough between Sketch and Ruko.
Really good job keeping me humble. In fact, I'm disregarding your answer because you only like cats.
Ruko is not a cat.
Ruko is not a cat.
Ruko is a
Explicitly
cat.
not
cat.
Enough.
Ruko is a cat in spirit. He's a fucking faucet. Come on.
How
He's
would
not
you
a
just-
cat, but he's like he fits all of your other.
He's got the barb dick.
You're only a cat. Holy shit.
You're
Only a cat.
You're only a cat.
Only a cat.
Only a cat.
Also,
Only
hello, I'm right here.
Hi.
Who are you again?
Unbelievable.
I'm not attracted to anyone in the party.
Even Branch?
Like literally no one. Maybe it's because I'm really into playing Ethan right now, and he literally is asexual and aromantic. I'm just gonna match energy.
Fact.
Everyone is an attractive character, but I'm not attracted to any of them.
Frisk, you're acting too well.
I'm
You gotta
sorry.
crush on somebody.
Especially
Okay,
Foster.
then it's Foster. But Foster's married.
In fact, this is what I'm curious about. Which player character is the most fun to mess with and throw a wrench in their plan? Like,
Okay.
Probably me.
I think I have a bit of ground between you.
Okay, I'm looking.
Feck does this to me in every campaign, though. He always
curse
fucks.
you?
He always fucks with my shit. Hits me with a curveball.
Okay, are we talking about characters from Wildfoot specifically, or you guys as players?
I thought I heard player, so that's why I piped up.
Okay.
let's do both. That sounds fun.
Do both? Okay, for this campaign specifically, I think it is Branch or Jane, and I don't have strong justifications for either one. I just think it's true. I think that they are the most fun to like throw wrenches at. I think that they react well to wrenches in that they flounder, and that is what is fun.
Correct.
He
Floundering
wants
is
to see this struggle. He's
Right.
going to lock us in a box with each other at some point.
You're telling me that anything other than the perfect outcome isn't on the table?
Right. For like players as a whole over my whole D&D career, it's going to be between Drake and Frisk. Drake because he will always outsmart me, and Frisk because he has no safe word.
Oh, so you just do it to me to like torment me?
No, I do it to you because I know what you want. Because I see your soul.
You think I want this?
You bring it up constantly, so yes.
No. Like full disclosure, pulling back the curtain. I want my like. You threw me a very big grace with Vasu because like I asked you after Philo to just like let me have a character that just has like a kind of like a happy story with a happy ending.
Right.
But like I did not ask for or hint at asking for or wanting any of this shit with Kaz's like curse, and it's like directly giving me as a person anxiety outside of the campaign.
I apologize for that, but also I think
Fine.
that when we pull the tapes, you might disagree.
But you think that I want it. It's fine.
I think that you want it because I have chat records showing things that you want.
How dare you?
This guy has paperwork about this.
I do. I have a form that I sent to each and every person telling like how do you want your character story to go? And I think that the things you asked for are being presented in a way that you didn't think that they would be presented. And I can't say much more until we get there, but you guys are going there right now.
I hate you as a person. I just want you to know that.
I love you too. You're great.
You know, speaking of playstyle, how would you describe your playstyle? Let's do it in one word. Mine's highbrow.
That's
Fine. What was the other one?
We settled on hoity-toity.
Intellectual. Hoity-toity.
Yeah.
mine's abrasive.
Oh, yes.
Mine is apparently just funny.
It is.
I'm gonna go with highly reactive for me.
That's 2 words.
Sorry, what was the question?
Just a one. The question was just how would you describe your playstyle, and then I artificially
word?
limited it to one word.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is hard.
For Frisk, it's obviously emotional, right?
Emotional or cathartic?
I'm trying to play a teenager. We can just go with teenage.
Can we double back on this question without the one word limit?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm still going with highbrow though.
Yeah, I wanted everybody to get their one word response out first.
Oh, okay. Antithetical. Or like, yeah, that. Sure.
Wow. This guy thinks he's better than all of us.
Antithetical means like going against, right? That's what it means. It doesn't mean. Yeah, okay, good.
One word, emotional. In the longer sentence, I will. Sir,
I think mine is cocksure.
you have cock in there.
He's got cock in
Nice.
there. That's pretty funny.
That's pretty funny.
Straight up banned from Twitch.
One day.
Yeah, ban this man's cock.
Remove it.
Did he die? Did he get kicked out of the street? Someone dropped.
I'm sorry, Momo was eating vegetables.
Oh, was that
Oh.
good?
No,
God
not
damn
much.
it.
It's okay. She's gone now.
Look what you're doing to your cat. Even your cat is
Lovely.
eating vegetables.
How would you describe my playstyle?
I think yours is very. It's also very like. You like poking bears with sticks, and I like that.
Big red button.
Big red.
I would go
button.
with opportunistically antagonistic.
There you go.
That works
That's
too.
pretty good.
Damn, that's really good.
Just boiling it down to abrasive feels like a discredit to you.
Yeah.
Ethan's a fucking white line. I forgot. Okay.
I feel like you mega mind certain particular ways to just challenge things in a way that's interesting, but
You
also
make
fuck
things
that.
challenging.
God damn it! And then it makes it interesting. Like, oh boy, we're getting to some spicy shit now. I don't know. What do you call that? It's not just straight up antagonistic.
Spiteful?
Right is our Half-Life opposing force. Always. I think.
Mhm.
Maybe.
I also want to say creative because it's
Mhm.
definitely creative, and you come up with really smart solutions to like puzzles and problems. Not just puzzles, but like a social problem or like a combat problem. You have a very creative solution with what little you have or whatever you have.
Like the Punnett square of
What is a
meta
Punnett
knowledge
square?
plus. It's that's plant stuff. Venn diagram.
A Punnett square is a Punnett square is a very useful tool that everyone should learn how to use, but no one
Right.
is taught.
Venn diagram.
Sounds
What
like
do you
some
mean no
nerd
one is
shit.
taught?
Some nerd shit.
What are you, some
It's the
sort of
only
So-
thing I was taught in biology class.
Sidro, you are simultaneously the dumbest and smartest person I know.
Oh, okay.
That's weirdly accurate.
I have not figured it out yet.
I have an approximate knowledge of all things.
I think Drake knows too much. And then he finds a way to play it perfectly into character stuff that challenges both the story, the metaverse, and everything.
If I could
but
pick
in
a
a fun
one
way.
word,
Every
if I could pick a
goddamn.
one-word description for Drake's playstyle, it's mischievous.
Yeah,
that's a
okay,
good
there
one.
you go. We got
That's,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
mischievous
I
is
think
good.
that works for me. Yeah.
'Cause, like,
Surprising.
There's a lot of there's a lot of like shenanigans and stuff going on, but all of it is like very methodically thought out or planned
Right.
beforehand. He never like just does anything for a reaction in the moment, but like what he does is like carefully thought out to like get a specific sort of reaction out
Yeah.
of the other player.
It's plotted. Drake is a plotter.
Yeah.
He's
And that's
mischievous.
why
A
he's
schemer.
and that's why a cat is the perfect animal for tech.
That's why I
Right,
don't
right.
have that's because I don't have a soul.
Pookie, that's
Or
what
bones.
You
have
also
good-
ask these really. Do you really ask questions that I don't expect you to ask, which is neat because it makes you
Mhm.
introspect and think.
True.
That's been very fun with text, just because everybody here is so terrible as like human beings. Just getting to like poke at
I'm
their,
asking why they're terrible.
morality. Yeah,
You're
I've
in your
never done
element.
anything wrong.
You're with your peers.
How many
Zeke
of
hasn't
you?
done anything wrong, but Jane certainly has.
No, Jane's Nelson never done anything wrong ever. Perfect,
many-
perfect little snowflake.
Not even once.
How many of you would pet Tex if given the opportunity?
I would do it anyway.
I would.
I would.
You can't
Athen
stop
would.
me.
Can I
What's
wear a
he gonna
glove?
do? Bite me?
I'm living in the moment.
He seems like one of those cats who would like kind of let you pet his back for a minute, but then he rolls over and he like claws and bites at your hand when you try to pet his belly. But I'm gonna do that anyway.
We've established that Athen is weak to small little critters.
Small little critters.
Yeah, just little guys, little critters, like little cats, martins.
Yeah.
Like little potato hyenas.
Specifically, potato hyenas.
Cackles is explicitly potato shaped.
For sure.
He's become like Athen's sort of emotional support potato. Like he'll pick him up sometimes and just cradle him. Like, I'm sorry, Kaz, I know this is your familiar, but he's my comfort animal.
Neither Cackles or Kaz ever seem to mind that.
Okay, we get it. Cackles is really cute, and he's the mascot. Okay, like
Yeah.
Would you
but
let me pick
we get
you
it.
up?
He's real funny every time he interjects, and he should be the mascot. But
I'm
like,
sorry,
yeah.
Drake.
Tex has never brought any kind of mascot energy to the group. Is the thing. He could have been the mascot if he was cute and silly, like
You're
Cat-
playing. You're
That
playing
first
an
bit
anim-
of episode one,
Road.
where he was, you know,
yes, when he was male cat and we didn't
Yeah.
know him yet.
Yeah,
Imagine
Like,
if Tony the Tiger just said, "Fuck you, don't buy my shit."
yeah.
They're shit.
You're playing a cute animal character, but you're deliberately being like aloof and abrasive. You're like the Shadow the Hedgehog, and that can't be a mascot.
Why don't people love me?
Tex's
Why don't
whole
people
thing
love
is
me?
that
Fuck you.
he doesn't want to be the
They're
mascot
gross.
anymore, right?
They're gross. That's right. They
Tex, Tex feels like he would not want to be a mascot.
Is that
He has a hiss and bat at you and
Left,
look
left.
at me sort of energy of a cat.
Zeke.
or Zeke died?
Zeke died.
Oh, he has to go to bed.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's Benny by
that
for
was-
him.
Is that the last question? Then?
No,
No.
it was a trick question.
Oh.
The only person who didn't answer was me because my answer is subversive supportive.
Oh, I didn't answer
Subversive.
either, and no one
Oh.
noticed.
I did.
See,
What did you say?
Fetch and I were sleeping in the hammock together, and we were just giggling this whole time.
Yup.
What's what's Fetch?
You got us backwards.
Sketch. Fuck. God.
I don't know.
Names too similar.
It's almost like they're related or something.
You have to name
Wow.
twins
Almost like
similar.
they're
It's the
twins.
law.
Yep, true. Otherwise, how are you going to tell they're twins?
Exactly.
Like Castigaggio. Which
From Hollywood.
Yep. But those two are definitely close.
and Hong and Zara.
And my name came first, so it's his fault.
It's true. It is my fault.
And I don't know.
I don't know.
Exactly. I'm a little confused myself.
I like this fetch biscuit.
This
Oh, thank you.
biscuit. Wait,
I mean,
the drawing on the
is
art
that what
thing.
you're?
my like
Let's do
little
the
Jane
Korok
hand is
one.
better. I don't know how I killed it. That Jane hand looks pretty good.
It's a good
Yeah.
Jane hand. Yeah.
Are you struggling to
kinda-
describe your playstyle?
Who drew the Korok? If you won't help me, then to hell with you. Who drew
Biscuit.
this?
Me.
Biscuit,
That's hot.
you're in prison now. You can only draw.
Why?
You're only allowed to draw.
That's a really good fetch.
That's the
Yeah.
best I can do with the mouse.
Okay, no,
You
it's.
are. That's what I'm. Okay, yeah, you're in prison now.
Stop!
We're having soft
I don't think
tacos
anybody's
later.
trying to throw shade at this drawing. It's hot, and there's like this is the
I'm not.
Yeah.
first time I've looked at a depiction of Fetch and be like, oh,
Oh.
he could. He
Because
could,
he
No,
got
no,
the
no.
thick eyebrows.
he could do things that I can't describe on Twitch.
Wow. Well,
Yep.
sorry,
90%.
Biscuit. It's the
90
end.
It's not. I do what I
Yeah, it
want.
is. No, you gotta
90%
do
of
what
a
you want
character.
in prison. You can only draw more.
$5
I
fine.
Need more.
Are you gonna pay me for it?
Yes,
90
and leave.
90% of a character's masculinity is in the eyebrows.
In the eyebrows.
I don't know about that.
About 10% is in the eyelashes, and the rest of it's boobs.
You gotta make
Boo?
the torso a triangle if you want it to be masculine.
No, the biscuit. Completely right. It's eyebrows and chin.
Art's too scrungle.
And eyelashes.
Let's
Eyelashes
remove
are a
that.
little bit, but chin is more important than eyelashes.
Yeah, chin.
I'm going to save the fact that I do art for the future reveal when people forget that this was a single 2-second voice line on a nice tail stream. So I'll erase my art.
You've erased it twice,
No.
3 times if you count the
3
sketch that
times
you erased.
because Biscuit's too good, and he's a bastard, and he'll just be like,
Why is this? Why is
this-
prison? I'm gonna make you do art 24/7.
why is this
with 3 other
cheetah
friends."
good? But my like
The hand's
shockingly
better than the
good
cheetah.
robot
Yeah,
hand, right?
the
Like
yeah.
I
hand's
can't. I
cool,
killed
too.
it. I killed it with the hand. I'm so
Because
proud.
he's
of
not
that.
sexually attracted to robot hands.
Anyways, point being, there is still a question afloat in this stream. We have the playstyles, and it was Sketch and me. I don't know what either of
don't
ours would be
care.
defined by. One word is too difficult.
Jaegers is vibes for sure.
Vibes. Okay, vibes. Yeah, it's vague
Yeah.
enough to make me satisfied.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna
vague
say
enough to make me
along
unsatisfied.
for the ride.
Yeah.
Here to enjoy yourself.
I'll interject when things need to change.
It's kind
I
of a
suppose.
Ruko in the box, right? You pull him out when you need him.
Yeah.
And
Otherwise,
he
it's
pops
kind of
up and he's
useless.
joyful. Yeah.
Your emergency vibe rations.
Yeah. It's like crack. Not really. I don't think that's ever a good use for any sort of drug. But anyway, I don't know. My play style is it's very I don't know. I take everything I hear, and then I build a context for my character to begin with, and I play the game and I listen to all the other people, and I kind of fill in, I chunk in things. I just kind of process it as the character as he would as a real person. You kind of like develop things, you learn things, you realize how to respond and how to react. But also, you're a dumb bitch, and you don't ever actually do that. So what you do is you just keep building context and building responses and understanding this whole time. But unless it's poked, it's like dropping a Mentos into this like a whole bottle of Diet Coke, and you get fucked when you actually do it. So it's a little danger. It might take half an episode to kind of parse through, but there's a lot of pent up stuff going on. But in the
Yeah.
meantime, he's just kind of happy. Like, let me just keep this story going. Like I'm still building up pressure. Here you go.
Yeah,
Like,
I
let's keep
think I've
going.
So
noticed
if we had to
about
limit it to
I'm
one
gonna
word,
detonate like a terrorist bomb in your airplane, my dude.
can't say
wow.
that on Twitch.
We can't
In
say that
Minecraft.
in Minecraft. The government's also looking
Can
out
you
for
really?
the terms in Minecraft. But also, I think I've noticed about
Minecraft.
Jaeger's playstyle. is
Mhm.
very he interacts and immerses in the world building. Like we go to a new place, Jaeger will interact with everything there like a tourist,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which helps me immerse as well.
Right. That's a big deal with me is that if we are just traveling, my pet peeve about any D&D game is you travel, you get into the new city on the opposite side of the globe with a new culture and society. And now you're going to a regular generic little tavern and a regular generic little market. I'm like, "Wait, but we're on the opposite. Wait, hold on.
We're in
We went
floating
on a
islands, my
whole
dude.
month journey. I need some context. Like I just lived for 4 months. Please tell me what happened. Let's experience something along the way, please." There's a lot of time that passed. There's a lot of changes. There's like environmental context. There's like, ooh, is it hot? Is it like
Yeah.
soggy outside? I don't know. Like, how am I feeling in this new world? If I'm playing the character, I want to know how I'm like feeling in this new world. Like, number one, you travel to a new place, you get off a plane or whatever, if you're in a normal situation, or drive a far distance, you feel different as soon as you step out of your car or the plane. And you kind of want to just baseline, get your senses right, look around, figure things out, kind of just discover the place as you are. And I feel like that's what the characters are doing anyways. So I'm baffled when they're like, "Yep, you're in a whole new world. Everyone's wearing crazy clothes, quote unquote." I'm like, but what are they? And they're selling you goods, but what are they? And I have so many questions all at once. I'm like, please, I want to go on a journey. That's the question.
Yeah.
That's the interest.
As a player, I love all of that little just like background cultural world building that kind of goes
Yeah.
on that sometimes doesn't go on unless it's prompted, and I like that you do that. I like that you
My God, yes.
if I had to sum your play style down to one word, it would be like observer.
Observer.
But
I like. Oh wait.
but if we elaborate on it, you're like you take notes and you want to indulge in like all the little
Yeah,
bits
yeah,
of
yeah.
like
Yeah.
just like flavor world building and culture and stuff, and I love all of that as a player, and I try to explore it more myself, especially with Kaz as this character, because like
Ooh.
I'm trying to play up that he's come from like a very like sort of sheltered and like
Mm,
he's like homeschooled rich kid sort of
mm,
person, so
some experience with the
yeah.
real world.
So going from that to prison and then
Oh God.
like getting out and then like realizing that they're like, oh, like this person I've come to know and respect even before I learned that like, oh, he like they've never had like the sort of meals or like pampering upbringing that I did, but like it's a weird thing to describe, but like all of the different like backgrounds and stuff and like
Yeah.
cultures are huge for me uh when they're like explored in a campaign setting,
Yeah.
especially
And
with the current
I
character.
think
So
yeah, and I feel like we're on the same vibe is that like when I create a character, I need to know the world that they are developed by rather than create a story and then a world. I do world creates character. And so when I travel and we go and explore new places, like I want to immerse into the new world and compare it back to what I'm familiar with as the
yeah,
character. Like, hey,
my
I'm used to sticking my feet in mud and getting bitten by crocodiles and shit. Like I want to go and get into the desert sands and sink into a dune and be like, what the fuck?
my
This
favorite
is
sort of
wild.
my favorite type of character development is like having a character see a lifestyle and like a culture or whatever that's like totally different from what they're used to. It's out of their comfort zone and they have to like they either look
Yeah.
down on it or they're like, "Oh, this is fun."
These people show their ankles. We're not safe.
How could you? Yeah, I don't know. I love the immersive aspect. So maybe my character term is immersion. Immersion?
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah. Immersive.
Immersive? Vibes immersion. I'll put a
It's all of
hyphen
the
in
I
above.
there.
feel like vibes
Vibes.
work pretty
Yeah.
well
Vibes
sometimes.
might do too much work. I mean, it does all the work it needs to, for sure. but to try to refine it, I would say immersion based. I don't know. It always needs a hyphen. 2 words is necessary. But then, yeah, I don't know. I like worlds. I
Maybe
like
cu-
fantasies.
maybe curious.
Curious. Yeah. I'm a little world curious.
Yeah. Inquisitive.
Inquisitive. That's the
Or
one.
or just touristy.
Tourist. Dumb
Like
tourist.
I
Baffled
don't
tourist.
I don't know how many of you have read much of Terry Pratchett's Discworld, but
All of it.
Ruko definitely does give me very much like Two Flower vibes.
Oh, but way less energy.
Mhm.
Yeah, like he's not as
I'm
excited,
sleeping sometimes,
but
yeah. Because I'm a bitch.
But you're our bitch.
I need to be more aggressive.
like
In the
he's got
perfect
more
world, I'm more
survival
aggressive.
instinct than Two Flower, but
Yeah.
he's just as curious about observing and meeting everything in the local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I literally the whole Ruko deal and me personally, but in Ruko, since it's more important in this context, we are completely just empathy based. If there's anything that is good that can be experienced that other people are enjoying, he's like, how are you enjoying that? I want to know. That's kind of cool. Like, let me try it. And if it's fucking awful, he'll try his best to figure out why the hell people will like this. And that will be an entertaining process rather than just a, oh, Jesus, this is fucking awful.
Yeah.
You know, like just, I don't know. He loves figuring things out because people have figured it out in the past and he wants to find out why it was fun, what was interesting. I don't know. He just wants to understand. He's curious.
And by the way, Philo, I tried to get these jokers into Discworld and they hated it, so no class.
I
What
like
do
this
you
world.
mean?
I liked it. I liked what we read of it, but then they wanted to listen to the other book. So
Yeah, yeah.
I can't personally vouch or credit like the audiobook versions at all.
I was gonna say, I like the
the
writing. I
audiobook
wasn't big on the
ones,
narration.
same.
I'm just not big on audiobooks at all. But I feel like
What?
especially like I feel like Discworld, especially the early like first few novels would be hard to adapt to like an audiobook just because they're like
Yeah.
there are so many footnotes in like the first
Mhm.
4 Discworld novels where he puts an asterisk in a paragraph and the footnote at the bottom of the page like is related to that asterisk but also has like another subnote
Yeah,
to explain that gag.
I agree.
Oh, that
Yeah.
appeals to me. That's the part I like.
a good
Well,
quarter.
yes.
I just feel like
But-
it would be weird to like hear and not read.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
A good
Yes.
quarter, a whole quarter of the book would have to be the narrator, right?
Okay. But staying on the wild folk topic, do we have any more questions? There's also still to answer for Sketch. What's a playstyle like? And I'm starting to think we've got some ideas, and they're all offensive.
Yes. Go on.
Yeah. No,
See,
no,
the only
no,
term I could
no.
think of was inoffensive. So I'm curious to see what yours are.
Well, I mean, yeah, as a sketch, but heck, I don't know. You bring the what do you bring? I would say it's like whimsy, but you're grounded in the world, in your situation and all that. But at the same time, you're just like you're a fun character. Like you got some whimsy to you that's
can-
been beaten down by just shitty circumstance. But at the same time, boy, I don't know. There's you lick shit with Ruko, and that's the best thing ever. Like, you make
can
weird
definitely-
robbing bananas.
I can spin off this for sure because I think you've tapped into it. He plays a straight man, but the fantasy equivalent. He plays a straight man who is a straight man within a weird environment.
Right,
He's the everyman of a fantasy setting.
This man
Yeah,
ain't
like
straight.
I don't know. Like
He definitely
okay,
does the everyman well, but I feel like he's also like he's a little jaded by all of his experiences, but always seems to come out like mostly optimistic.
yeah. It's hard to put in like a single phrase or whatnot, but a lot of shit has happened. At the same time, there's still that whimsy, that like that positivity at the end. Like, okay, Well, that fucking sucks. Here's something else that's fun, and like move on. Let's kind of play with things regardless, even though things are perilous. You know, I don't know. He's positive overall. It's hard to describe. But
Playstyle.
grounded with difficult situations, and I don't know. Oh God, it's so difficult to explain. How do you?
Based on what I know, I'd say like a Neo playstyle is snappy.
Snappy. Yeah, that's pretty
Snappy.
good. That's pretty
Yeah, because most of his characters will snap at people.
good.
Yeah, all of Neo's characters have always had like a walk softly and carry a big stick
Yeah.
sort of vibe with me. Like a patient man is only patient for so long sort of vibe. And I like that. That's a great quality in a character.
Yeah, like what Neo described, inoffensive, but then you push him and he goes like, so fucking.
Yeah, lay down the line. Here we go.
Defensive to a point. Jaded
Yeah.
Whimsy. Okay, these are good. These are fun.
Jaded Whimsy. Actually, that sounds like a cool outfit in a weird way. Ooh, Jaded Whimsy outfit. I'm thinking like harem garb,
Goodness.
but a little bit more sharp.
Sharp? Add
Not
blades.
sharp as in uncomfortable, but as in like a cut. Very nice. Danger. Like something that Narafi's mom would wear.
I wear combat armor to bed because it's all a fight.
God.
Like Jade.
No, I don't know. I enjoy
gold jewelry on the neck and the wrists and the ankles and everything, and like a flowing harem garb with a thigh gap.
What are you, my husband?
What?
What are you, my husbands?
Hey, for no particular reason, can like Fetch, Sketch, and Ruko go on like a clothing shopping trip, like an apparel trip? Let's go on like find a cool.
I'll just stay home.
Jesus. I wasn't
like
so bold
clothes.
as to invite Kaz, but I feel like he hates me.
Kaz would probably know more about clothes than Fetch, so we could bring them both and balance each other out.
Why would you think that Kaz hates you? And also, looking at the way Kaz dressed and act, why would you not be like, oh, that man knows about
Boy,
clothing?
Kaz has never had interactions with Ruko necessarily. At the point, and like not like it's a problem because I'm enjoying everything that happens in front of my eyes. But come to think of it, I don't think they've actually really interacted directly too much.
You want to keep Fetch alive for as long as possible, even though he's somewhat suicidally idiotic. Because my
No.
backup character is a cleric that talks to their deity all the time.
No. Oh
Yeah,
God,
all
we
the
gotta
time,
keep-
out
gotta keep
loud,
them alive.
constantly. And the deity's name is Chat. So you're really gonna want to keep Fetch alive.
Oh,
Yeah,
you got to keep him
I
alive
was
at all
just gonna say,
costs.
please.
Chat, roast this enemy.
Mhm.
Sacred flame.
I think we'll bring Branch along for round 2 of shopping trip. Once we've established an opinion for him to come in and challenge it, then we'll be safe.
Once I get to roast all your Yeezys, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I add
Once
a
we all
question?
develop like a good sense of fashion, he'll come in and be like, actually, here's something that's genuinely cool. I'm gonna say it in a way that makes you feel a little defensive just because it's spicy, says Branch. And then we're all gonna be like, and we're all gonna eventually come to the same terms. We'll all be friends.
Yeah. What's the biscuit question?
Oh, speaking of that, do you have a backup character? What's your second idea? Not as terms of like, but like in simple terms, like in basic one word concept or class.
I don't have like a full backstory written out for one, but if Kaz dies, either because of this curse that we can't resolve in time or some other tragic event, I do want to try out a gunslinger.
Omalas. That's my one word.
Oh my loss.
We did an Omelas something somewhere. Where was that? Where did we just do an Omelas thing?
What is that? Explain.
Omelas, or Those Who Left Omelas, is a story about spoilers for like an 80-year-old story. The premise is there's a city that is a utopia, but it is powered by the eternal suffering of one child. And is that an acceptable moral loss?
Oh, what a perfect world, actually.
Right.
Oh,
The moral conundrum is it okay to permanently torture a child to make a utopia?
So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like it's like a child
For
called
sure.
It, but the child is actually serving a purpose.
I'm not familiar with the child called It.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with a child serving a purpose,
This,
actually.
this
so-
joke doesn't work if you guys don't know the context of it. Okay.
I know, I'm so sorry.
Okay. A Child Called It is this novel that's like apparently based off like the real life experiences of the author who wrote it, who like grew up in like a very abusive relationship with his mother. Like the father wasn't around, and the mother like literally kept him like locked in a closet and shit.
Awful.
Yeah. It's a really it's really funny
What?
in this joke I've made about it.
Okay. Very cautious.
No, it's not actually funny at all. But
Oh.
I'm trying to frame it as not like a tragic story because I just made a joke about it that nobody got because nobody had heard of this book before.
What
See,
are
this-
everyone's ships?
See, this is the problem
Hmm.
when your whole D&D campaign and friend group labels you as the funny guy. There's a lot of pressure.
Tyler, you're also emotionally deep, and I love your characters.
And when your jokes don't land, you feel the need to like defend
Yeah,
and explain
listen.
them, and
Listen,
I'll just shut up now.
Yeah.
You know what?
You know.
You're not the funny guy. I'm the funny guy. Okay, back off. First
Okay,
of all.
thanks. Yeah,
You're welcome.
You can be the funny guy. I'll be the
Sure.
guy that uses humor as a coping
Sure.
mechanism.
Ships? Was that was said?
Yeah, what are your
Yeah.
ships? If no one else has background.
I think
Oh,
Kaz
okay.
has a really nice ship, and I think it's thick and it's long. It's got a
Yeah.
bunch of sails on it.
I'm the only one with a vote, and it has a very sexy name.
It's probably got like a
Jaden
ivory
Booker.
aesthetic.
Is this
Jaden
Kirk?
Oh,
Is this
boring.
PC?
Foster and Thalia.
Boring.
Is this PC?
PC. Whatever you want.
Or
Any
PC?
flavor. But PC
Force it.
would be more fun, maybe.
Yep, force it. Do PC. That's my
Yeah.
vote.
Cackles and Ewald.
Oh.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh,
Aw.
No. No.
Or-
Ewald is precious.
Or honestly, like Cackles and Prickle Biscuit.
Cackles
Okay,
can
okay,
fix
that'd be
sex.
funny.
I feel like they've already not like a sex shipping, just like a friend shipping.
Oh, they've got like a machete
Oh.
and what's his name thing going on.
Yeah,
What is-
like they've already
what-
kind of got something going on.
Speaking
What
of,
is-
They're
what
both
is-
very food motivated, and Cackles is like, oh, you should try this one next.
What is Prickle Biscuit? Did I miss this?
It's the
Yeah.
hairless cat.
you
Why
did
have you
miss
named
this.
it-
This is happening over in the desert right now.
Yeah,
We found a Sphinx cat.
we found
Why have you-
another mascot who's better than Tech.
Why have you
Hey,
done
what's
this?
that? What's that show that got really popular like 2 weeks ago? It's Lupin and somebody, the French dog.
Lupin the Third.
No,
oh,
no,
God,
no,
I
no.
knew
Yeah,
it.
the gay French
Didn't
dog.
know it.
The gay French dogs.
Lupin in Beaumont or something.
Yeah, Belmont and
Yeah.
Lupin. Is that
Yeah.
is that just Jupe and Hallie? I don't know anything
Yeah.
about Lupin. Is he dour enough to be Jupe?
No, Lupin is very
No.
cheerful.
Oh, damn. Okay, just kidding.
They're saying Belfort in chat.
Anyway, it's Tex and
Oh,
Edel,
boy.
Rico and Zep, Sketch, and
PC.
CJ, Fetch and Severalex, Jane and Booker, Kaz and Klaus,
Aw.
Ethan and
Mhm.
Branch, Foster and Thalia, Baby Boy, and I cannot say.
I'm
Emotional
glad that,
support shipping.
I'm glad that you agree with
Yeah.
Kaz and Klaus, because like at this point, Kaz is definitely like connected more with Bennu, but
I was
Here's
wondering if
Mark's
maybe you guys
Mark.
have like a three-way thing going on.
oh, that,
A little
Did you
frustrating.
also just ship Sketch with his familiar?
No,
CJ. You said CJ.
I don't know if I should comment further on that.
how
Got
many
you.
cooks is too many cooks in the kitchen?
Too many.
3.
There is none.
How,
Also, maybe sketch with Finn and Darwin, just as like a unicorn.
Not
How
Sketch and
many-
Ruko? They look
how
good
many-
together.
I do love Sketch and Ruko, but I also love Ruko Zep, so that's really hard. Oh, never mind, it's Sketch and Amar. Oh my god.
No.
Sketch works, Ruko's brother.
That's fun.
Sketch name art for sure. Ruko's out.
No, it's gonna be Fetch and Branch. That's what I see. Branch.
Branch.
Oh
I
god.
can't do it because the
I
name's
see.
disgusting.
Well, it's better than Fetch.
Bench.
Bench.
Branch's ship names are on. It's not possible with anyone.
It hasn't happened because we haven't traveled together very much, but I feel like they could get on a SAS wavelength like very easily.
I really like Braz.
Braz. Oh, Braz.
Braz is
Okay,
nice.
Braz is good.
Branch and Kaz, they both like perform with each other. They Kaz will fix his arm when it gets broken.
No.
Isn't that cute? Yeah, can you teach him all the dance? Isn't that fucking cute?
Yeah,
It is
I
kinda
see that. Like
And
Kaz wants to learn how to do like more like dancing sort of performance.
yeah, Kaz can mellow him out, and Branch can like feed into his vengeance.
We are also sleeping on Cackle's Drifter.
Drifter's your mom.
You know, I'm gonna comment the fetch sketch Ruko a little like shopping trip combo, and I'm gonna mute and deafen right now. So bye bye.
Yeah, I think the Drifter mom theory has been fully debunked. I don't think it's alive anymore.
Oh no, it's Rita. I'm sorry, it was Rita.
It's mommy.
Drifter's
essence.
Rita.
Not complete mommy.
I'll also double back on the Braz ship
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit.
a cool name, Braz.
That's a good one.
Or whatever we called it before.
Oh, Bruco could be a good. It sounds like not terrible.
Bruco, yeah.
Bruco.
I could definitely see a lot of moments where Kaz is just like gently scolding Branch, like, stop letting this thing get broken as I repair your arm again. And then I slap you across the face with it.
Oh, you Winry Rock Bell.
But in like a cute way.
In a cute way. Yeah, the Winry and fucking Ed thing.
100% that kind of relationship.
And then you slap him across the prostate.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Slap him across the prostate.
Anyway, we should probably close the Twitch.
Thanks for hanging out, everyone.
Absolutely. I'll probably be in Discord a little while.
There's still a lot of questions, but man,
It's
for next time.
midnight 05, so I should probably at least close the stream down so I can sleep at some point.
Sleep at some point.
I gotta catch a plane.
Wow.
He's got to get back to play D&D in time.
I know. We got Spear and Salt tomorrow.
I want to watch Freerun with you.
Same. I'm excited.
I've been screaming
What's
at
Freerun?
everyone. I've been screaming at everyone to watch Freerun
It's
for
so
a long time,
good.
so I can gush at someone about
I'll
it.
share this week.
Finally.
Me, I've seen it.
Anime bullshit.
Like,
I've seen it.
Freerun-
It's all right.
Good
It's-
anime
it-
though.
It's just okay.
Just because I usually trust what you like, Fat, because you don't like a lot of things, and then
Correct.
I looked at Freerun and I'm like, you like this? I
so
had to look it up, and I looked at
every-
it. And I was like, what?
all of the marketing, including the intro sequence, is bait and switch. They are just trying to get people in the door.
Yeah.
What the show actually is a beautiful, patient, indulgent anime about existential regret and like grief and a bunch of other things like that. It is a show made just for me.
And nihilism.
And a little bit of nihilism. But importantly, it's overcoming nihilism. It's finding meaning.
Overcoming nihilism is the best.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a show made just for me. Anyway, I do have to run, but watch the show.
Good night.
Good night.
Don't
Thanks
run.
for hosting and actually staying for a while for some reason.
Yeah.